What is up, everybody? Happy Monday. I'm excited. We got a little Labor Day next week. It was really quiet on the roads this morning when I was walking in. By that, I mean my walk. Very quiet.
Had no problem getting in at all.
No bums bothering you?
No, there were several, but one of them's got quite a luggage set. I don't know if he went on vacation and he's just like, this is where he landed. But, yeah, it was quiet out there. Tell you that. It feels, this is kind of last hoorah, right, of the holidays. I mean, of the summer.
Kind of.
Yeah, this is when usually hotels and apartment complexes start shutting down their pools.
Oh.
Public pools start getting
It's gorgeous
shut down.
outside. Can I just say that, though?
Oh, it is. I felt it yesterday morning. My beautiful bride and I were out on our usual morning walk, and it was very muggy, very heavy air. By the time we got done, that cold front had come through, and I mean, it felt like San Diego.
Oh, it's gorgeous.
It was just gorgeous. No humidity.
I went out this morning, take the dogs early, because I haven't been asleep, so bear with me, people. And it was a bit nippy. Right around 6 o'clock, 5:30.
Yeah.
There was, in between a little bit of the warmth, you could feel some crisp.
Yeah, a little bit of a crispiness, and I was wondering this morning if my tire light was going to be on.
Oh.
Because whenever it gets cold like that, after we've had, several days of summer, weather, and all of a sudden we're 15 degrees below zero, there's always some light that comes on in my car, and it's usually the tire pressure light.
Well,
Not this morning, though.
No, baby. Did you, is your car working again?
Yes, it is.
Fantastic.
Yeah, I just had to give them 3 of my fingers on my left hand.
That's good. I'm excited for you, and everybody else out there should be excited for you as well.
If it has to be repaired again, do you have to give 3 from the right?
Well, I gave them 3 just in case. They were only going to take 2.
Oh.
But I thought, hey, here's one just in case in the future.
Oh, so you already paid up?
Yeah, I'm already paid up.
Just in case you have to come by and drop it off again.
But the air conditioning still doesn't work.
Yeah,
right?
the air conditioning doesn't work.
But it's okay because it's getting cool now,
Yeah,
man.
it doesn't matter now, man.
He survived.
Woo!
He survived the summer.
Fresh air flowing through my beard on the way in. On
In the winter,
924.
you don't care, man. You got your jacket on, right? Maybe a beanie as you're flying down the street, living life large.
Yeah, man. And when my heater works.
Oh, does it? See, if
Yeah.
the heater does. Of course it does.
I just got to get through this last month of summer. We'll have another hot spell. It's coming. We're not out of the woods yet. We got to enjoy this while we can.
Yeah, because we got the whole week like this, right?
Looks like it. Yeah.
Oh, I love that.
Now, I'm not entirely pleased because you know how I feel about cooler weather. And this morning was a little bit too cold.
Really?
Too cold for August. I don't like 60 degrees in August.
Oh, I thought it was gorgeous. Oh. I'll use a bit of that every day, baby. That's what I'm talking about. Give me some more of that. I was excited. The kids because my stepdaughter just lives for the changing of the weather because we came from Arizona where the weather changes from hot to super hot to boiling hot to nice in February.
Yeah. You got about a month.
Yeah, that's it. And I was talking to my buddy, another giant, huge, massive, it's 100 degrees in Medford, Oregon.
Yeah. Yeah, I got some friends in Medford.
They had no idea it went up that hot. It's 90 degrees in Seattle. How do you go out and burn a flag if it's that hot?
Those people are losing their minds.
Yeah,
up
they don't
there.
even know anything about. Oh my Lord! Not like us. We've been through it all. Hope everybody's weekend was okay.
Mine was good. I got another issue of Southern Living.
I'm in church yesterday, and I'm sitting there. So we went to a new church, and I'm sitting there, and waiting for everything, and in comes Ken's text, Southern Living. And I look at my wife. I go, Ken's got Southern Living. She goes, oh, he does? I said, yes. Southern Living. Look at this. No odors for the cat. No odors. Says right there. No odors for the cat, baby. That is awesome.
Southern Living telling us how to live.
Now, you were telling me that they have a new thing for your, was it your sunroom?
Yeah. They were showing, some nice decorations for your sunroom if you have one. But what I can do is I can just put a bench by one of my windows.
There you go.
And, go out and gather somebody else's flowers and as long as they can't see me.
I like that.
Grab their flowers and put it in a little vase. And I've got a little sunroom.
Oh, man. This is it's going to be quite a time, baby. I'm getting ready for this. It's going to be super exciting. We got the sunroom, gorgeous time. We can argue with each other. I met a nice guy yesterday. I'm sitting there. I went to this. So we go to this church in Franklin. And then my wife and I, we have to go shopping because my little one's birthday is this week. It's tomorrow, actually.
Yeah.
So, but, you're 7, so it's the whole week. When you're older, you're like, I hope somebody just goes happy birthday to me. When you're younger, it's the week.
Yes.
Right?
It's a whole week thing.
It is. So we go shopping, and we go out to eat at this place called Neighborhood, I think it was called, Neighborhood Grill or whatever. And this guy comes up to me and goes, hey, I just want to tell you, I love your show. I listen to you every day. And the guys are great, and you're great. And Bell sucks. And I said, all right, I'll tell him. No, he didn't. He said, no, but I was like, oh, well, that's nice.
The odds are that was probably a family member of mine.
No, somebody, I was waiting for somebody to go, hey, listen to your show every day. You suck. You drive me crazy. You libtard. He called libtard all the time.
Why do you hate Israel?
Yeah. Oh, let's not even start. Did that on my national show today. Whew, how dare I talk about anything?
We're starting off with a bang, are we, Brother Chad?
Yeah, just yelling at me on the old thing. Actually, you know what? I'm getting a lot more people go, you know what? I didn't really see it like that before. It was very interesting. I just want to have a conversation. That's it. Why can't we have conversations anymore? This is why we don't have nice things. Even Chris and I doing the crossover about the flag. It's burning the flag. It's you may hate it. I hate it. I remember when Rick Monday saved the flag. Do you remember that? The baseball player, Rick Monday? So I think he was in Montreal, and a guy ran into center field and was going to burn the flag, and then Rick Monday comes running, and he scoops the flag up.
Awesome.
Yeah, it was pretty awesome. And I love it. But it's a form of speech. And everybody's like, but it's an action. It's a form of speech. Marching with a sign. That is what? That's an action. Wearing an armband is an action, right? I mean, you can go on and on about what are actions and what are not, and speech and this, that, and the other. We just don't want to go down that rabbit hole that is a nightmare.
And this has already been all the way to the Supreme Court and decided on.
Yeah.
And now we got to relitigate it again.
I don't know if it's going to get there. And remember, so much of this executive order is about after the flag, right? So did you commit a crime after the flag and go from there? We'll find out. Like Trump, look, do I think it's smart? Yeah, it's a bit of a show. Of course. That's Trump. It's the beauty of him, right? Whether it's the crime, whether it's this or whether it's that, he finds those great. Even marijuana. Like it's a 70-30, 80-20 win for declassifying marijuana and slowly edging towards the making it legal. He stole that from the Democrats. How beautiful is that? They're going to do what? Oh, right on. It's exactly what he does. And it's a brilliant move. And this is a perfect way because it, riles up the crowd and gets people excited. But it's the only thing you could be charged with is if you do something after the burning of the flag, committing a crime. But the self is, T-shirts have been protected. T-shirts, signs on your, signs on your
Car?
Well, your car, but on top of that, in your yard that annoy everybody all the time to vote for somebody. Oh, doesn't that drive you crazy? Vote for this, vote for that person, vote for this thing, vote for this measure. What about this measure? Vote for this measure. Somebody's always got 40 signs. Yeah,
my neighbor has a gun control sign up that's been there since they moved in.
Was it his? Or was it the other person they just left?
No, they posted it when they put it in the yard when they moved in. Obviously a big deal to them because it's been up for months now.
Oh, okay. So, but in theory, that's it. I mean, you can say writing, books, displaying art, theater and dance could even be. So it's that weird kind of thing where I don't like it, but there's a lot of speech that I'm not a fan of, but I will protect people's speech because we should want that. Because the minute somebody comes for one person's speech, the opportunity to come for another is going to be there, and we sure in the hell don't want that. We don't want what's going on in Britain right now. You guys are paying no attention. Oh, my God, it's about ready to pop off.
Yeah, you were telling us about that.
Yeah.
And I'd start paying attention to that.
It is about to pop off. And this has to do with the flag. I mean, it's crazy what is going on over there. And you've got to allow people to have their speech and the Brits, I mean, it's thought crimes at this point. I'm watching some guy. They're like, are you thinking about praying for somebody? He's like, yeah. It's like, you can't do that. Well, how would you know? He didn't say it. He thought it. She thought it.
He looked like he was praying.
Yeah. I mean, it's crazy. So, somebody said their pool is open all year long.
Nice. You know what? My daughter and her fiance's pool is open year-round.
Obviously heated.
I'm going to have to take advantage of that.
Really?
It's a heated pool, right?
Well, I don't know. I haven't been to their pool.
Well, I'm asking Ken. He probably has.
I don't know. I don't know if it's heated or not, but I'm definitely going to find out. And my daughter, hey, honey, what do you think about your dear old dad coming over and swimming again?
Maybe you can back into her car and just leave.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah. It is. The heated pool. I want an indoor pool. That's what we need. That's a very Florida thing, indoor pools.
Yeah.
That is a very Florida thing.
I bet you that's a big thing in the north, too.
Yeah, if they
Indoor
have pools. They don't have a lot of pools.
In the north?
Yeah. So, it's weird when you fly over certain places and every house has a pool.
Right.
And you fly over some and you see nothing. I'm like, what do you guys do? This is the first year, my daughter was just like, this is the first year I haven't swam. Because, she's been swimming since she was 1 or 2. We've been in the pool every year. And I'm like, well, I said, we got the apartment. They don't have a pool here. But, yeah, the North, though, I would say that in Britain, they didn't have a lot of pools either when I was over there. It was weird. They had a few at, rec centers, but they didn't have, I come from the ocean and places there's pools. And I like a pool. I'm not going to lie to you on that one. Well, a lot of stuff to get to today. We'll talk more about this. You're right. It was Dodger Stadium. It was just so faded back in the day. It looked like AstroTurf, but that was great. He went out and saved the day, and everybody cheered him on, and it was great. And that's a wonderful thing. That could be seen as an action of speech, protecting the flag. What if that was an action that you weren't allowed to do? You stole someone's flag. So we got so much stuff to talk about. Abrego Garcia in custody. What's he going to do in Uganda? Here's my question for you guys out there. Maybe somebody knows. Does he have to have a passport? I mean, you're sending him to a different country. You get a temporary passport? How do we know he's really Kilmar Abrego Garcia?
Yeah, I wonder did Trump set up a deal with Uganda?
Yeah, they sent up a deal with Uganda, and I found out what happens when he arrives there, if he does go there. He may be on his way now, because they're really not telling him where he's at. So we'll talk a little bit about that, among other things. Bunch of other stuff to get to today. Reach out to us on our social media, at Chad Benson Show. We got the YouTube, we got the Facebook, we got Rumble, we got Twitch, we got X, and, of course, me, at Chad Benson Show. And make sure you text the program.
615-737-9986.
There you go. Love hearing from all of you. It is the Chad Benson Show, Super Talk 997. Rough Greens, ruffgreens.com/Chad. Vitamins, minerals, probiotics, omega-3, 6, 9, all of these incredible things packed into a supplement. I give them a pooch. Both of them, they love it. Red, little red dog, LRD as we call him, and Bowie. Bowie's cool. He's like a boat anchor. He's just a thick boat anchor. And you know what? Cutest dogs in the world. Happy and healthy, bouncy. Nothing wrong with him. Why? Because we give them live nutrients inside of this amazing supplement from Rough Greens. You just scoop it once and watch what happens. It is incredible. To start, a jump chart trial bag of this is $20, right? But they're going to give it to you for free. All they ask you to do is cover the cost of shipping. 1 scoop a day. It's going to fuel their day. It's going to get them healthier and happier. It's going to give them more energy. You're going to see a marked improvement. Try a Jumpstart trial bag now. All they ask you to do, cover the cost of shipping. That simple. RUFFgreens.com/Chad or roughgreens.com/Chad.
We've got reaction from the neighborhood where a family's home caught fire in Spring Hill and the family went to the hospital. This story and more at 12:30 on SuperTalk 99.7 WTN.
You want to go home. He wants to go home, guys. He doesn't like to be here. He gets paid by the match, not by the hour. Yeah.
That last night was the opening round of the U.S. Open when Medvedev, who is one of the great tennis players in the world, lost his like you could not believe.
I saw that.
It was McEnroe level insanity.
It makes McEnroe look like he's playing. This guy lost it. Okay, so apparently a photographer came onto the court during play, which said which you can't do, obviously.
Yeah, that's not good.
Then he freaked out. He starts yelling at the umpire saying, "Are you a man? Because you're shaking," right? And then he said, "You only want to be here. You don't even want to be here because you don't get paid by the hour. You get paid by the match." And they went back and forth at it. He's screaming. Yeah, Medvedev's kind of a child, anyways. But then he goes over and he decides it's the tool of his trade that needs to pay the price. The racket.
The rackets are going now. It's carnage out there. Ugly scenes. Needs to be careful here. This is too much now. He'd do well to just get himself off the court here.
A match with just so much incredible drama. It hasn't been the year that Medvedev would have wanted.
It was not the year. He lost in 3 of the Grand Slams, which which are the big deal. He lost in 3 first rounders and 1 in the second round. The last 2, last night and the one before this, Wimbledon, he lost to the same guy.
Well, it was clearly the racket's fault.
It was absolutely. He beat the crap out of that racket.
Well, I think there was a horsefly, and he was trying to kill it.
He was trying to kill something. It might have been in China because he was digging down there.
That racket was absolutely unsalvageable when he was done with it.
It was,
man.
All of us have had a bad day. Imagine melting down like that in front of the world.
Yeah.
Like it was.
Yeah, because it's not just the stadium; it's everybody watching on TV.
He needs to listen to that song we had on the One Hit Wonder Wednesday a couple of weeks back, where it was "You Had a Bad Day."
Yeah, Daniel Powder.
That'd make him feel better.
Yeah, he had a bad day, bad night.
Having a bad season.
Going to town, cursing and yelling in Russian or German or whatever the hell he is. He was awesome.
Oh,
awesome.
my. And it's never going away.
No.
That's out there.
You know, I saw somebody said he's 30, but he acts like he's 10. Because this is not the first. Yeah, this is not the first time he has lost his mind. But this was extra special because the other guy didn't do anything, and it was the cameraman who was. And we're talking about photographer, not like a USA or ABC, whoever's doing the thing, and that set him off, and that was it.
It reminded me of that time that McEnroe was mad about a call on an ace, and he goes over to the umpire and he's pointing at him with the racket going, "Are you blind?
Yep.
Are you blind?
You cannot be serious." Oh, that was spectacular. That guy, you said, the internet never forgets. No. He is a meme today. Like he is meme Monday today.
Oh, absolutely.
He is me. He is. That looks like the Democrats pissed that Trump is doing his thing. Just because they can't do anything.
Yeah, they need to hire him at picnics.
Yeah. Oh, that'd be great. Oh, it was bad. It was spectacular though.
Get rid of all the pests.
Oh my Lord, that was funny.
Just give him a fly swatter.
He was just. Oh, see, kids. If you try hard enough, you too can have a piss poor attitude and still make millions of dollars. Right. If you're his sponsor, you're just like, oh, God.
Right. Well, that's the thing. I mean, the sponsor is now thinking, oh, boy.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Yeah. I mean,
and they'll tolerate a lot of stuff, but there's also a limit to it.
Yeah.
When Tiger got busted with all the cheating and everything and got that DUI for some pills or something he was on.
Yes.
They started jumping ship like rats off a boat when that happened. And Tiger, arguably the greatest golfer in the history of the sport, but he hit a wall and they said no more.
No more. No more. He is 7th all time in earnings with about $50 million in earnings. He is currently 13th. He won the U.S. Open in 21. He was the final in Wimbledon in 23, 24, French Open quarterfinalist in 21, and Australian finalist 21, 22, and 24. And great all-around fit thrower. Like
Do
he's
you
a
still
champion.
get a payday even if you don't come in, if you don't win the whole match?
Yeah,
whole
he
tournament.
got paid.
$50 million in lifetime earnings.
That's pretty good.
That's that's nothing to beat your racket
So
over.
here's his endorsements: Lacoste, Tech Fiber, which is for rackets, Bovette for watches, BMW, Tinkoff Bank, HyperX, and a couple other things that he's got that are like apparel, but
Tech Fiber will turn that tantrum into a spot.
Oh,
Going,
absolutely.
Look how difficult it was for him to beat that racket.
he broke the racket, but he couldn't break the fiber. Coming up, we'll talk a little bit about, a lot of you guys have the question about, is it speech? Is it action? They could be the same thing. We're going to talk about that, among other things, find out where Abrego Garcia is, and we'll talk a little bit about what will happen should he go to the beautiful country of Uganda. Old Idi Amin. Remember him?
Oh, yeah.
He was a nut. It's the Chad Benson Show, Super Talk 99.7.
$12:30 on the dot. I'm Ken Weaver with your top stories. Right now in Cheatham County, 40 westbound. The left lane is blocked by a crash right there at the Cheatham-Williamson County line. Got the full forecast coming up in 5 minutes. Channel 4 has reaction from the neighborhood in Spring Hill where a family's home caught fire and they had to go to the hospital.
When we went outside, the husband was crouched over his dog, and it looked like he was wearing like a black shirt, but it was just, he was shirtless. It was just like soot from the fire.
Yeah, firefighters say when they got on the scene this morning around 4:15, more than half of that house was fully lit up. Both the son and the dad have burns. The mother and their daughter have some smoke inhalation. Authorities say they're all doing fine, even though they're hospitalized. In the Oval Office today, Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth praised of President Trump for approving the plan to arm National Guard troops as part of the federal crackdown on crime in D.C.
And at your direction as well, sir, it's just common sense to make sure they're armed as well. And so we're rolling out ensuring they're armed, capable of defending themselves and others if need be, supporting law enforcement, and we're proud to be there, sir.
The president weighing sending troops to Chicago, New York, and other cities. Kilmar Abrego Garcia is in ICE custody in Maryland, where he was taken after release from jail here in Tennessee, where he faces federal human smuggling charges stemming from that 2022 traffic stop. Here's his attorney, Simon Sandoval Moshenberg, who is not happy.
There was no need for them to take him into ICE detention. He was already on electronic monitoring from the U.S. Marshal Service and basically on house arrest. The only reason that they've chosen to take him into detention is to punish him.
So, according to reports, Garcia could plead guilty to the human smuggling charges and be deported to Costa Rica after serving his sentence. He could be deported to Uganda as soon as Wednesday, or his attorneys could try to fight deportation anywhere. And a new chapter in the Trump administration's immigration crackdown.
A judge has ruled the Trump administration cannot deny funding to Boston, Chicago, Denver, Los Angeles, and 30 other cities and counties. U.S. District Judge William Orrick in San Francisco extended a preliminary injunction blocking the administration from cutting off federal funds for so-called sanctuary cities. Orrick also blocked the administration from imposing immigration-related conditions on certain Housing and Urban Development Department grants. Mike Dubusky, ABC News.
That's the latest news. Weather's next. I'm Ken Weaver, WTN News.
Temperatures drop down to the 50s. Grab a jacket before you head out tomorrow morning. The afternoon will have more sunshine, but the temperature will struggle to get back near 80 for our Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. We're in the upper 70s to the low 80s. Good sunshine coming our way. We'll just have to watch for a stray rain shower Thursday afternoon.
All right, guys. One big, beautiful bill. Very big. A lot of stuff in there. Tax stuff. and it's confusing because some of it expires, some of it you can only do so much with. That's why you need somebody to help you out. That's why you need a free, personalized financial consultation from our good friends over at Beacon. So, did you know $10,000? You can deduct up to $10,000 off in loan interest for your car, but there's some catch, including where the vehicle's assembled, right? As long as it's done here, how much of that is assembled, so many things. On top of that, there's things like, a lot of people don't itemize. There's an above-the-line charitable deduction, $1,000 for individual, $2,000 for couples, but these are not one-size-fits-all. And remember, some of these things expire sooner rather than later, so you got to take advantage of them. Maybe you're a senior, right? So here's the thing. If you're 65 and older, you're eligible for an additional senior discount or deduction. Now, that's up to $6,000, but it's got to phase out. It's not a complete elimination of tax on Social Security benefits, but the measure does provide valuable temporary tax planning options during this year, so take advantage of it. You got to find out what you can do and what you can't do. Let Beacon help you. Call them today. Free personalized financial consultation, 615-488-9303, or go to beaconcm.com. That's beaconcm.com, or call 615-488-9303. This is a paid placement. Kilmar Garcia. Will he? Won't he? Could he? Can't he? Should he? Will he? I don't know.
They do not have the right to put him on an airplane, and that's what we're going to be asking the district court to ensure, that he is not put on any flight to any country whatsoever, whether it's Uganda, South Sudan, what have you, unless and until he has had a full and fair trial in an immigration court, as well as his full appeal rights.
So he's already been judged to have been here illegally and told he had to leave not once but twice. All right, take away all the other stuff, whatever those things may be. He's MS-13, he's MS-27, he's 18th Street, he's Grape Street, whatever it is that they come up with.
21 Jump Street.
It's 21 Jump Street. It's all the streets. It's the streets of gold. Take away all that. He's gone through not one but two hearings, and they've said, you have to leave. You appealed, you got to go. We just can't send you to El Salvador. Now, the question is, what happens if you send him to Uganda? Well, Uganda, kids, it's an eastern-based African country. It's landlocked, and per capita is about $1,100 a year. Let you guys know that. One of the youngest countries on the planet as far as age. A vast majority, like 51% of their population is under the age of 15. Think about that. So he's going to be one of the older ones there. And if he arrives there in beautiful Uganda, tell him what he's won, Bob. They're going to question him, and they're going to write down some information, and then they're going to turn him loose, and he's free to roam around the cabin freely of Uganda.
There you go.
If his family sends him like $5,000, oh my, he'll be a king. He will be Idi Amin.
I was getting ready to say.
He will be Idi Amin. By the way, if you guys have never seen that movie, King of Scotland, oh, it's a great movie about Idi Amin and his doctor.
Didn't Forrest win the Oscar for that?
Yeah, I think so. So remember when he got tricked by the Israelis? He got tricked when they had the plane land there in Tebe. So he is now. That's if they send him there. They want him to plead guilty to it's smuggling.
Yeah, human smuggling.
Human
charges.
smuggling. They wanted to plead guilty to that. He said no. I think he wants to have his day in court. I don't know if that's going to happen because they seem pretty set on getting him out of here. And he said he didn't want to go to Costa Rica. I have to be honest with you guys.
I'd go.
I'm taking, hell, they offered me a chance to go to Costa Rica today. I'm going. It's fun.
At least he'd be able to speak the language in Costa Rica.
No doubt.
Well, the only thing about that, though, is he's got to plead guilty to the charges, then serve his sentence.
Is that what it is?
He gets to go to Costa Rica.
Is that what it is?
But that still might be better than going to Uganda.
Yeah. So
unless he is innocent of the smuggling charges.
Well, then if he's innocent of the smuggling charges, he's still got to leave. It's not like if he wins this and they find out he's guilty, it's, oh, well, you got to stay now.
Exactly. I don't know. This.
So, yeah, it's kind of an odd thing.
Like, who's paying for his attorneys?
Well, they're all the GoFundMe's and all of these groups that have thrown stuff. I wonder how much money, you should, Bell, look that up. See how much money he's raised or his family's raised over this. And yes, the official language in Uganda is English. Mostly a Christian nation.
Well,
not a lot going on over there as far as, it's a burgeoning country. But you're right next to the Democratic Republic of Congo, so don't go in that direction. I don't even know who's running that thing today.
Yeah, that's true.
So,
those places are always at war.
Always. Rwanda, Ethiopia, somebody's fighting somebody over something.
And it's like machete war.
Oh yeah. It's the kind of war that is the worst thing you could think of. Like up close, hawking off your arm kind of war.
Yeah.
Sending you back to your family with no arms so you can it's just crazy. So, you've had my issue has always been this. Democrats, you did this in so many ways to yourself, as we know. You allowed God knows how many people actually in here, 12, 15, 13, 18, who knows how many million over the last, since 21. You say, I want to make sure that they have their day in court. This guy had his day in court long before Trump took over, and it still didn't matter. You didn't want to let it go. Yes, sir, Bell.
The one article I can find that has a number in it is back from April, and that's talking about his GoFundMe hitting a milestone of $200,000.
Well, there you go then. Think about that. So he could live like a king. Probably take 8 wives. Probably the best thing that ever happened to him. I don't know if you can have 8 wives over there. I'm assuming you can, but I don't know. Don't get mad at me.
I don't know if 8 wives would be the best.
Yeah. You guys better, some of you guys better Google him. Oh my God. It's like, how did we get here? So good for him though, huh? Yeah, I know they wanted him to plead guilty. Like, what's he looking at? I haven't seen, if he was to plead guilty, what are his...
Let's look at that.
Yeah, because I was trying to figure out, like, is it...
How much time?
Is it a decade? Is it a couple hours? Are they going to kick him out immediately? They just wanted a guilty plea? I'm assuming it's got to be at least a few years.
Well, I would think.
But it's smuggling, so it's not kidnapping and human trafficking.
He faces up to 10 years in federal prison for human smuggling charges.
Wow. Now, I'd rather him just go, right?
Go to Uganda?
Yeah, well, wouldn't you?
Yeah, I would take my chances if I was in that situation.
Look, if you're an adventurer, you've been to El Salvador, you got back. You've been to Louisiana and Texas.
Yeah.
You've been here. You've been all over. If you're thinking to yourself, let's have some fun like that guy who did the daycation last week where he just takes off and goes somewhere. We'll see what happens in Uganda. Maybe he goes there. Wouldn't it be funny? You guys hear about that? Remember that guy? Yeah. He struck it rich. He's now the biggest gold miner in Uganda. You're like, I'll be damned.
Bring him back.
Oh. That's it. Yes, 8 more. There's more wives to beat. I was listening to Tom Holman today, who, again, I've yet to see him smile. That's one of those guys where he's kind of like, what's his name? Bill Belichick. Just never smiles. Hey, we won the championship. Great. Like, that's it. And he said that it was human trafficking and, like, smuggling and gun running. And I'm like, I don't think any of those things are true. Gun running. So, yeah, it's going to be. My question is, though, like, here's the thing. So you're sending somebody without a passport. If I'm, and we're paying, by the way, we're paying for this. America. We're not charging him for the flight, and we're also paying Uganda to take him. So it's not like it's free. Where he just, we just decided to send him somewhere and it's not going to cost us anything. No, they're not sending him on a commercial flight. So, and I don't know how many people they're taking over there right now.
Yeah, we got a deal with Uganda. Trump made a deal with Uganda for deportees.
Yeah, most of them were supposed to be like African deportees. And I think some Afghanis as well. But as far, that's going to be weird. You got to think about that just for a second. You're from El Salvador. Now you're going to Uganda. Where most of us couldn't find it on a map.
Uganda, El Salvador.
I was going to say something like that. Everybody was waiting for that. Oh, man, this is going to be. Who else are we seeing there? Do you get a choice? Did they give you a choice? We know you have. Does the guy fly in the plane goes, we know you have many choices here. We thank you for taking deportation air.
Sit back, relax. We'll take your handcuffs off after we're over international waters.
In 14 hours, you're going to be in an unknown destination. We can't stay very long. We're just going to slow down, tuck and roll.
You're going to be in Africa.
Oh, my Lord.
Have you ever been to Africa?
No. Where you going to be? Yeah, that's it. I mean, it's going to be very interesting to see if he does. I don't know, because if I'm America, I want to see this thing through, don't you? Kind of? To prove a point? Or is the whole goal just to get rid of this guy?
Well, I know that his attorneys were trying to get the charges here thrown out. Do we have any new word on whether or not that's going to happen, or it's being considered, or do we know?
I do not know.
No, I don't think so.
So why would they let him go if they were still gonna prosecute him?
Because the fact is, this became a pissing match between the left and the media and his attorneys and against the United States of America against Trump. Like if this was Biden sending him, we'd have never heard about this guy.
Okay.
He'd have been in Costa Rica or never touched or anything like that. But even if they did get him and Biden was going to deport him, they wouldn't have paid any attention to him. This is all to do with Trump. It's always Trump. Always Trump. Oh, Idi Amin. Yeah, Idi Amin went away in 79, I think. He went to, by the way, died in Jeddah in Saudi Arabia with billions of dollars in gold, I'm sure. Man, he robbed that country blind. And the guy that took over in 86, he's still in power and decided a few weeks ago he's going to run again to make it 5 decades. How about apples?
It's amazing. It's amazing how easy it is to win when you're the only person on the ballot.
It is. It's going to be, woo, good. It is not a beautiful. It's a beautiful place. Like Africa's gorgeous, and at the same time, what the hell happened? You know, too many warring factions. Too many people like the Belgians and the Dutch. They go over them. They just destroyed the entire area and took everything they possibly could when they had a chance. And, you know, it sucks. It does. It's going to be interesting, though, if we do send him there, because I think his two choices were Costa Rica, if he pleads guilty. I wonder if he goes, hey, tell my attorney, if I plead guilty, I get a suspended sentence and you deport me to Costa Rica immediately. That's not a bad one. But if there's no other choice, man, you'd rather be in Uganda. All of us would rather be in Uganda than a prison here. We'll take our chances.
Yeah, absolutely, man.
Yeah, it's an adventure too, guys. Come on now. Coming up, good fun. Lots of stuff. Taking some of your text message here. Text at us. We're talking about this. We're also talking about the flags. A lot of you upset about the flag thing. Listen, I'm a free speech absolutist, 100%. I don't like that people burn the flag, but they do. And I will protect people's rights for their free speech because that's what I would want to have happen for me. Because once we start taking away stuff, you watch what happens. All of a sudden, it lands on your doorstep, and then you're like, well, what about? We need to protect speech at all costs. If you're missing the show, shame on you. Grab the podcast. Jeff Mensch Show, Super Talk 99.7. You're worried about what's going on the planet. You should be a little worried, right? What's happening with AI? Is AI at that point where we could see a bubble burst? We should talk to my friends over at Bulwark Capital. They're going to give you a free risk review. Go to knowyourriskpodcast.com. What they focus on is risk management, especially in a world like this right now. Top of that, their core strategy involves basic fundamentals of value investing. They look globally. They don't just think, oh, I'm going to throw money in a couple of these funds and move on with their life. That's not who they are. It's a free, no cost to you risk review, right? No obligation, nothing like that. All they do is go through, show you where things are good, show you where maybe you need to look at some stuff. That's it. You part as friends, worst case scenario. But maybe you say, I'd like to learn more. That's what they're all about. Call 866-779-RISK, 866-779-RISK, or check out everything they do at knowyourriskpodcast.com, KNOW, yourriskpodcast.com for Bulwark Capital Management. Investment advisory service offered through Trek Financial LLC, an SEC registered investment advisor. Investment fall risk, not a guarantee. Past performance doesn't guarantee future results. Trek 25284. about Wellness Institute of Nashville. Don't fret. I've been in a situation where my back was awful. And you go to Dr. Mitchell, Dr. Ashley, and voila. Magic? No. Wizardry? No. Brilliance? Yes. Right now, Big Daddy Trump special, $12, comprehensive exam, x-rays if needed, and they're going to explain the diagnosis. It's incredible. Go to painisbad.com to check it out. And if look, there's no surgery, okay? No spinal injections, no painkillers. It is technology and brilliance between Dr. Mitchell and Dr. Ashley to get you moving again, to get you feeling back. Back pain, neck pain, sciatica, slipped and bulging spinal disc, herniated disc, stenosis, you name it, they're ready to help you. Just $12 right now, the Big Daddy Trump special, comprehensive exam, x-rays if needed, and they're going to explain everything, get you up and running. Call 615-246-5009, 615-246-5009, or painisbad.com.
All right, drivers in Cheatham County, you've got the left lane blocked, 40 westbound right there at the Williamson County line. It's stop-and-go traffic starting at exit 188. And Kilmar Garcia back in federal immigration custody. What's next? We understand there are 3 options, and we'll tell you about it at 1 o'clock on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
Are they making it a game show? Option 1 is guilty, and what's behind here? Costa Rica. Option 2 is Uganda, and option 3, you've got to decide.
We send you back to El Salvador in that nasty prison.
Something.
Do they have hippos in Uganda? I wouldn't want to go there if they have hippos.
I'm assuming
hippos kill a lot of people.
They do. Let's see here. Let's see if they have hippos in Uganda. Are there hippos in Uganda? Yeah, they can be found in most every national park or anywhere there's a river or lake.
Wow.
Well, yeah. The Kanzinga Channel, Lake Edward, and Lake George has the highest concentration of hippos in Uganda. So we're not sending them there, right? Oh, my God. That would be so you. It's like, we're going to send you to one. Is there hippos there? Yeah, I'm not going there.
Yeah, they might mess with my fish.
Oh, and you can't shoot them with your little gun.
Well, little 22 won't do it with a hippo.
They're just going to look at you and go, excuse me?
Yeah.
Excuse me?
Crunch.
What about elephants?
Yeah, there are elephants in you.
Bull elephants.
Big bull elephants.
You don't want any part of that.
Are there angry bull
specifically
elephants
angry ones
in Uganda?
Very neat, right? Like, do you think it's because his family can go with him, right? Can they do that?
I would think so, yes. There are bull elephants in Uganda, and they can exhibit aggressive and unpredictable behavior.
Okay.
But that's because they're animals, and they go off instinct.
Yes. There you go. So already Ken has ruled out option 2. So option 1 is some sort of prison followed by removal to Costa Rica.
Yeah, up to he would have to serve up to 10 years and then be deported to Costa Rica.
Oh, Hippo Alcatraz, that'd be good. Hippo Alcatraz would be very interesting.
That'd be scarier than alligator Alcatraz, to be honest.
Yeah.
I would not want to be one of the construction a member of the construction team for Hippo Alcatraz.
No. Have you guys have seen the Hippo movie about what's his name, Escobar?
No.
So Escobar had hippos in his zoo in Colombia, and when he was taken down, they just got out, and now they're in the rivers throughout Colombia, and they're just destroying everything in their path. So they sent people over there to try to neuter them, because they're breeding like mice.
Interesting.
So because
how'd that neutering go?
You know what? That seems like a job that's above my pay grade when it comes to animals. You know, I'm like a capybara kind of guy.
Yeah.
Is that a big hamster? I like those. Those are cool. Big hamsters are neat.
Throw up some cedar chippings, exactly.
Yeah. You know what I don't want? I don't know, 15 tons of something coming at me with giant, huge daggers with a bite force stronger than a lion.
Yeah.
Who could cut me in half.
Yeah.
Half?
Yeah.
I've seen a hippo. It's not real because it was on a thing at Disneyland and they got angry hippos on there. But I tell you what, their ears start going, you got to run.
Well, even that You know that video of that little May Dung, that little baby hippo?
Yes.
Remember where he like loses it and starts biting
Yeah.
everything around him?
Hippo.
And he's just a
Alcatraz.
baby.
Yeah. Yeah. Think about that. Now, if you could keep him that size, I could sell 1 million of them.
Yes.
But I don't know if we can.
What do you weigh, like 100 pounds or something
Yeah,
like
already.
that?
Already. He's the size of like a shoe. Weighs 100 pounds. Coming up, hour number 2 of the program. Trump saying no to cashless bail, and he's sending in the military to every blue city in America. Jeff Benson Show, Super Talk 99.7.
One o'clock on the dot. I'm Ken Weaver with your top stories. Got the full forecast coming up in 5 minutes. Kilmar Garcia back in federal immigration custody just days after being freed by a judge from a detention facility here in Tennessee, where he is charged with human smuggling after a 2022 traffic stop. Garcia was originally mistakenly deported to a prison in El Salvador, but then returned to the U.S. That's when those federal charges were slapped on him. Here's Chuck Stevenson.
Supporters outside federal immigration offices in Baltimore, where Abrego Garcia was ordered to report Monday. Through a translator, he asked for help in his fight.
To all the families who have been separated, or to all the families who have been threatened with family separation, this administration has hit us hard.
His attorney says they're suing the government to prevent deportation. Homeland Security calls Garcia a human trafficker and gang member, which he denies.
Well, Garcia could plead guilty to the charges and be deported to Costa Rica after serving his sentence. He could be deported to Uganda as soon as Wednesday, or as you heard, his attorneys are trying to fight deportation anywhere. President Trump taking questions from the media from the Oval Office this morning.
Cashless bail. They thought it was discriminatory to make people put up money because they just killed 3 people lying on a street. Any street all over the country, cashless bail. We're ending it, but we're starting by ending it in D.C.
President also says he's looking into forcing the military into other U.S. cities like Chicago.
When I have some slob like Pritzker criticizing us before we even go there, I made the statement that next should be Chicago because, as you all know, Chicago's a killing field right now. And they don't acknowledge it. And they say, we don't need him. Freedom, freedom. He's a dictator. He's a dictator. A lot of people are saying maybe we like a dictator. I don't like a dictator. I'm not a dictator.
The governor and Illinois attorney general say they'll pursue legal action. And the first U.S. human case of New World screwworm connected to international travel has been confirmed by the Department of Health and Human Services. In early August, the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention confirmed that a Maryland patient who had recently returned from El Salvador was infected with the flesh-eating parasite. Health and Human Services stated the risk to the U.S. public is, quote, very low from this isolated case. By the way, screwworm flies lay eggs in open wounds or moist orifices of warm-blooded animals and rarely humans. Then the maggots eat the flesh. Speaking of eating, the weight loss drug that may also reduce cancer.
Not just for losing weight and battling diabetes, but fighting cancer. Shown over 10 years of research on 80,000 patients.
Yes, this is a medical revolution, but that doesn't mean these drugs are without serious side effects.
Board-certified neurologist Dr. Leah Kroll says the upside.
The risk for endometrial cancer went down by 25%. For ovarian cancer, 47%. And the risk for meningioma, which is a benign brain tumor, went down by 31%.
Researchers make clear the study does not distinguish if the reduced risk is due to the drug or the actual weight loss. Wayne Cabot, ABC News.
That's the latest news. Weather's next. I'm Ken Weaver, WTN News.
So it's crazy, Trump, no burning flag. That'd be great.
No.
I love walking. I watched a movie the other day where a guy says, "Put your hands up." He's, no. He's like, why not? I don't want to. Trump earlier today, making sure that everybody knows, no flag burning.
If you burn a flag, you get 1 year in jail, no early exits, no nothing. You get 1 year in jail. If you burn a flag, you get, and what it does is incite to riot.
No. So the order, all right, the executive order, this is what it is. It doesn't criminalize burning the American flag, but directs the Attorney General, Pam Bondi, to prioritize enforcement against cases of flag desecration where existing laws were violated. So if you do something afterwards, you incite a riot, I guess.
Or if you steal somebody else's flag to burn it.
That's right. Don't be doing that. We had somebody else earlier ask that question. Don't be stealing people's flags to burn flags. So it's not the flag, burning of the flag act itself. And I'm a free speech absolutist. And I'm sorry, this is part of speech. And everybody's like, no, it's not. Wearing a shirt, art, wearing having a sign. Well, those have words, everything.
Getting a tattoo.
That's right. Wearing a MAGA hat. What if we said no to MAGA hats? How about that? Well, we wouldn't like that. No, you're professing your belief in something and you're wearing it. What if we said no to MAGA hats?
You're not allowed to express your support of your candidate by wearing a red MAGA hat. How's that going to go over?
Not well. So we want speech to be protected. And the only speech that is protected, according to the Supreme Court, is hate speech. That's it. Because if you loved it, we would need to protect it. It's kind of that simple. And you don't have to like it. I saw somebody earlier, people who would burn a flag would never want to wear a uniform for this country or would never have worn something like that. They texted me and I said, this country has lied to those men a gazillion times to get them into war. See Iraq, see Vietnam. So, let's be real. You love the country. The government itself, it's so much. Needs so much. By the way, you guys want to know why the Democrats continue to fail? This is spectacular. They're having their big meeting. Like they're all getting together and having their big meeting, the Democrat meeting.
Is this a DNC meeting?
Yeah, I think this is the DNC meeting.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So if I'm correct, you got to do a land acknowledgement.
This is Lindy Somek, who is from the Saginaw Ojibwe Nation, and she's going to deliver our land acknowledgement today. Lindy?
By the way, whitest Native American chick you've ever seen in your life.
My goodness.
She just couldn't be any crackery.
Bonjour, Lindy Somek, Nindichinikas, Amekdodam, Saginaw Chippewa Dojaba, Anishinaabe Kwe and Dow. Good morning, DNC members, friends, and relatives. Let's talk about the land for a second. The DNC acknowledges and honors the Dakota Oyate, the Dakota people, who are the original stewards of the lands and waters of Minneapolis. The Dakota cared for the lands, lakes, and the Wapatonka, the Great River, the Mississippi River, for thousands of years before colonization. This land was not claimed or traded. It's a part of a history of broken treaties and promises. And in many ways, we still live in a system built to suppress Indigenous peoples' cultural and spiritual history.
Apparently, she didn't listen to my show on Friday.
No. I was getting ready to say, man.
She used about 20 of the words you're not supposed to use.
I have no idea what she just said.
She just basically said, well, we're here, we're Democrats, but, we got screwed by you white people. You know who you are. No, nobody does. Nobody's here. You live in Minneapolis. You were a gopher. Oh, my Lord. Lindy, or whatever your name is. This is why they can't win. This is why. No matter how many times they try to brand themselves as something else, they come up with wacky stuff like that. I would get up in the middle and go, we should probably leave then, right? We shouldn't be here.
We don't have permission to be on this land.
Yeah,
We got to get the hell out of here.
Somebody needs to find one of these people and give it back to them and apologize. Well, no, we were just saying, what? Who are you doing that for? Who exactly are you doing that for? This is why you guys can't win. This is it right here. This is why you can't win. Because you are so stupid. Kilmar Garcia picks better options than you, and he's awful at it. Because he's going to Uganda.
Maybe.
You don't know. Would you take your wife, or do you want to just go there at first to see how it's going?
I'd go there first.
Yeah, just get a feel for the thing. Because maybe you get off there and you're like, you know what? I'm pretty much a big shot here. Cameras are here. People like me. Right? Nobody knows who I am outside of the Google search. They don't know.
You have your wife send you a little bit of money. You fly back to Mexico. You sneak in again.
Or no, you're there. You're like, honey, you need to send me a couple grand. Next thing you know, you buy a giant, huge house.
Got a big house and a pool.
Yeah.
With a hippo in it.
Oh, big time. You're living life large, riding that hippo around. Here comes Kilmar. Oh, it's like Idi Amin. He's the king of everything. Become a citizen. Never want to go home. You never know. Let's see here. A lot of people are upset about the flag thing. And I get it, right? I get that you might be upset. But we need to protect speech. But it's an action. There are a lot of things that are actions, according to the Supreme Court, not just me, that are speech. And we have to protect them. You don't have to like it. Nobody's saying you guys have to go out and burn a flag. It makes some people
you can actively dislike it, and you can counter protest if you
absolutely. By the way, 100%. I remember a bunch of veterans burned. I think it was about 1,000 flags in Seattle in like the late 80s, early 90s, for a lot of different reasons. But that was part of their speech. And it was very interesting to because not only say they fought for that, but a lot of them are still upset by several things. It's an action that, that is protected, and you don't have to like the action. That being said, if you allow the threads to start getting pulled, you're going to find out, like I said, somebody's going to take away your hat. Somebody's going to tell you no. Somebody's going to tell you can't say this. I mean, look what's going on. If you guys have no idea what's going on in Britain, and we should talk a little bit about this. There is a big issue happening right now in England when it comes to up in Birmingham. They put up so everybody knows the Union Jack is not the English flag. All right. So they have the cross, and somebody put one up, then somebody took it down, and people started complaining. Why'd you take that down? The next thing you know, there were hundreds and hundreds of British, English flags up. And now this has become something. They're getting ready to pop off over there because they're trying to control people's speech. They're trying to control their thoughts. Were you praying for that girl over there? Maybe. You can't do that. Well, I didn't pray out loud. Still doesn't matter. You were thinking it. I mean, they're getting to that point where, what was that movie with Tom Cruise where they tried to
Minority Report.
Minority Report. Well, they're trying to, get ahead of the crime.
We have evidence that you will end up doing this.
Yeah. It is.
But they're putting people in jail over there for social media posts.
Yes.
Not ones calling for violence or anything like that.
No.
But just ones that express opinions that don't go with the government's okay.
Or what? And by the way, whatever that government is, one person I saw, he got arrested. In 2023, he said, I don't want to see a Palestine flag. That was it. He didn't say kill all the Palestinians. He didn't say any of those things. His wife had cancer. It took him. Another woman who just got out of jail on, I think it was Thursday or Friday, her husband is a member of parliament. They told her, take this plea deal, you'll get virtually no time and they'll send you home. Instead, because she put something up, and it was, I don't know if it was for us, it's not inflammatory because I've seen the way we talk to each other. But for the Brits, it was kind of inflammatory about what is happening. And this had to do with that little girl, the girls' party, the Taylor Swift party up in the north of England where there was a stabbing. She put something up. She took it down, I think, the next day. They ended up putting her in jail She thought she was going to get a couple weeks or something like that. She got 9 months. And they told her if she didn't take it, she was going to do 3 years. 3 years. She didn't advocate for the death. She didn't advocate for the beating. She did none of those things. We need speech because speech, everybody said, well, what happens, somebody texted me a little ago, what happens in other countries when you burn their flag? That's the difference between us and other countries. Our speech here is so protected. And I feel like a lot of people want to give some of it away because of this or that. No, we can't. We can't. No. The Brits are ready. I'm telling you, somebody just said a little while ago, they texted me and said, I just got back from England and it's about ready. It's a hot mess. It is ugly over there. You've had everything from the rape gangs, right? So the groomer gangs, as they call them. You've had everything from the stabbings. You've had hundreds of thousands of people move in and automatically get hoisted to the front of the line, get all kinds of free stuff. You can't even question it. And you've got tons of middle class and working class people who are struggling. When I tell you guys, England, think about this. If they were a state, they would be the lowest per capita state we have. Mississippi is doing better. No offense to you, Mississippi, waving at you. But it is. Mississippi is doing better. People are pissed. Inflation is up. They can barely afford to live. And they're taking their speech away. And when you start to take speech away, when you have no future, and then you take away speech. See, the Chinese realized long ago, all right, we can't be the Soviet Union, right? We're going to either have to give people freedom of mobility, freedom to earn, freedom to have some sort of fiscal freedom. Because if we take away their freedoms and we take away their voice, they're going to freak out.
Remember, people are okay with freedom as long as it's the type and amount that they like.
No doubt. And so that's how they've kind of tempered it over there. The Brits are running at taking away your freedom of speech at a time when life is depressing. They are struggling in a major way. The middle class and lower class part of as far as the earning, they're struggling and they're looking around seeing everything be handed to people who've just come there who don't want to integrate. And they're thinking, what is this about? Why are we getting none of this? It's the same thing that happened in New York, right? New York, Chicago, they all got pissed off when everybody started sending the immigrants there, right? So there goes the illegal immigrants here and there. And next thing you know, they're all there from Ducey and mostly from Abbott, and they all started arriving. And all of a sudden, they're like, we'll take them because we're sanctuary. And then like 3 months later, like, we're broke. We can't afford this anymore. But they lost their schools in some areas. They lost their parks. They lost their hotels. And if you don't have a chance to have that speech, you don't have a chance, it starts to bubble up, and then it gets super ugly because that's when violence comes. All right, coming up, a lot more still to get to on this most festive Mondays. I think we got I think I'm off Friday. It's my little one's birthday. Pretty excited about that.
All right.
Charlie's turning 7. I told her last night I got her a Wayback Machine. I'm going to have to squash her down until she was 5 again. She was not happy about that.
She didn't like that, huh?
No, 7's a big deal. Okay.
7 going on 15.
Going on 15 and fighting with me every second. We'll talk a little bit about who knows what and a lot of other stuff, too. I got some fun stuff. Democrats still failing. Trying to rebrand is not working, guys. Chad Benson Show, Super Talk 997. Birch Gold is a smart thing to do. Why? Because gold right now, unsettled times. Who knows what's going to happen with interest rates? Gold's made a move. Why don't you do this? Text the word Benson to 989898 today to find out what Birch can do for you. Whether it's a savings account, whether it's an IRA or 401k, you'd like to move it over and have it backed by a tax-sheltered IRA backed by gold. They can do that. Maybe the physical, you'd like to have some put in your safe. They can do that. But the first thing is knowledge. That is the absolute key. And you got to learn about it. A+ rated by the Better Business Bureau. And at a time like this with uncertainty, not only in the market, is some stuff overinflated. What's the dollar going to do? What's going to happen with rates? Because the Fed's always behind. Let gold help you out. And you do that with Birch. Text the word Benson now to 989898 today. They'll get you out an info kit. That's it. No more, no hard sell, none of that stuff. Just get the information. You make the right decision for you and your family. Text the word Benson to 989898 for Birch Gold.
Kilmar Garcia in federal immigration custody in Maryland. What's next? We understand there are 3 options, and we'll tell you about them at 1:30 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
Ooh, the third option. It's like Monty Hall. What's behind door number 3?
Yeah, behind door number 3.
It's a goat. What? Burning a pride flag is not illegal. You can't steal somebody's pride flag and burn it. That's the way that goes. Okay, it's got to be yours, purchased privately by you. Same thing with an American flag.
And you can't set your pride flag on fire and throw it in a dumpster to try to catch the dumpster on fire too.
Yeah, don't do that. Or the American flag, or a hat, or anything else. Okay, those are things right there. Trying to tell you guys. What about this? What about that? You can't burn a pride flag and run into a gay bar and throw it at somebody, because that
would be assault.
Yeah, it's just common sense. Common sense. Everybody's got to go to the extreme. When's the last time you saw somebody burn an American flag?
Fortunately, I have never been present for anything.
I haven't either. Outside of on television.
Right.
You know, with some country that we probably invaded or paid somebody to invade.
Who hate us anyway.
That we destroyed their nation. We're like, dude, that didn't go well.
Yeah.
Yikes. Outside of that, I've never seen one. Not in person. So the pride flag thing is protected. That's already been up there as well. It's a symbol of speech. But there are things you can't do, right? Like you can't, like Bell said, you can't light any flag or anything on fire and throw it into a dumpster.
Well, yeah, that would bring arson charges.
Yeah.
And arson's pretty serious.
Yeah.
You throw it at somebody, that's assault.
If you have a painting at home and you decide this painting is god-awful ugly, I'm going to burn it. It's your property. You can burn it. And if it's your flag, you can burn it.
Yeah, it's got to be, again, all about you. Right? Private property. You want to burn a flag, you've got it. You've gone and it's a property that you guys have got a protest. You've gone out and got the whole thing. Boom. Right? You got your little, oh yeah, we went and we got we pulled our little thing so we could get this whole street here, right? So we can protest, and you want to burn a flag there? There you go. As long as it's your flag. If you take it down from somewhere else, that's not your flag.
And as long as there is a no burn order in effect out west.
Oh yeah.
No burn orders, man. You can't even light a fire in your fireplace.
No. They're serious about that.
Yes, sir.
They used to be serious about the water thing too, man. I'm telling you guys. When I lived in Palm Springs, the neighborhood that I lived in, they were offering tons of money because they told everybody your yard has to be perfect. Right?
Yes.
But you can't water.
Right.
So how do you do it? Right? They come there. It's brown. Well, we can't water. So then they came and they said, all right, we're going to give everybody like $20,000 to redo the front of their place.
Right.
Because it was just impossible. And then it became just giant desert.
And you just spray paint it.
After a while, it was just dirt, man. It's 100 plus degrees.
That is definitely where everybody was going in Albuquerque right before we left, man. I think they called it xenoscaping.
Yeah, xenoscaping. And now they've got
xeroscaping or something like that, where it basically you just have, and you can make it look really, really pretty. Rocks and cactus and all kinds of things, but there's no point in trying to have a yard out west, man.
No, yeah.
You will pay exorbitant water bills.
And I'm talking insane water bills.
We're talking $400, $500 a month.
It was crazy. Like, and even with the pools too. I mean, because after a while they start evaporating.
Yeah,
it's just so hot in some of those pools.
Water it's incredible, the battles over water out west.
Because you've got the Colorado River, right, and everybody's fighting over this over here. Well, we're not going to let California have this. We're not going to let Arizona have that. And Arizona's like, we're not going to give California this. And you're just, it is insane. And even when there's tons of rain, this is the other thing. Perfect place like California. This shows you how stupid a place like California can be. They never collect any of the rain because they refuse to build anything to collect the rain. So when there's massive amounts, copious amounts of rain, set records, none of it's collected.
It just runs right away.
Right off into the ocean, right? Which they have to open up the thing because they got that stupid smelt up north that nobody's ever seen. Right. We got to protect that thing, you idiots. Chop it up. If I own my house and I set it on fire, I'll go to jail.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, you could.
I mean, you could.
Take a wrecking ball to it.
Yeah, you could destroy it that way. Right? I mean, there is, you could destroy it that way. Right? Like a wrecking ball. But the fire is arson. Or, well, I don't know. Would it be arson? If you burned it down, as long as you don't try to claim any of the insurance.
Well, I think there's also the component that if you're burning your own house down, you're endangering the surrounding properties.
That's a possibility. That's a possibility. And you're endangering the firemen and life. So,
yes, sir.
Okay, see, so there's a lot of stuff there. Not like people aren't taking this to the, what if
Neil Armstrong had gotten out on the moon and tried to burn the American flag on the moon, even though there's no oxygen to burn the flag with?
Yeah, what about then? What if he left it up there, right? And so there's that. Chad Benson Show, Super Talk 997.
1:30 on the dot. I'm Ken Weaver with your top stories. Full forecast coming up in 5 minutes. Kilmar Garcia is in federal immigration custody in Maryland, where he was taken Friday after being released from jail in Tennessee, where he faces human smuggling charges. His attorney, Simon Sandoval Moshenberg.
The ICE officer stated that he'll be taken to a detention center. We asked the ICE officer which detention center. The ICE officer said that they weren't able to say. We asked the ICE officer for a copy of any paperwork that's being served on him today. The ICE officer wouldn't commit to even giving us that paperwork.
He could plead guilty to the charges and be deported to Costa Rica after serving his sentence. He could be deported to Uganda as soon as Wednesday, or his attorneys, as you just heard, trying to fight deportation anywhere. President Trump says no more U.S. flag burning, signing an executive order to criminalize it.
If you burn a flag, you get 1 year in jail no early exits, no nothing. You get 1 year in jail. If you burn a flag, you get, and what it does is incite to riot.
Trump administration signals they'd like the U.S. Supreme Court to revisit this First Amendment ruling or revisit this as part of the First Amendment. Don't be surprised if your health insurance premiums go up next year. How about that?
After many years of relative stability, the health insurance market right now is in a period of uncertainty, says Larry Levitt, an executive vice president at the nonprofit KFF, which studies healthcare. Higher costs for prescriptions and more expensive medical treatments are driving up costs for insurers and employers. That could leave patients paying more for doctor visits and medicines, especially for those who get individual coverage through the marketplaces, where insurers are predicting the government will end some of the support that now helps people buy coverage. Sherry Preston, ABC News.
That's the latest news. Weather's next. I'm Ken Weaver, WTN News.
Down to the 50s. Grab a jacket before you head out tomorrow morning. The afternoon will have 10 seconds. But the temperature will struggle to get back near 84 on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. We're in the upper 70s to the low 80s. Good sunshine coming our way. We'll just have to watch for a stray rain shower Thursday afternoon.
Hey, you want to lose inches? Are you frustrated, right? Because you've lost the weight. You've done the hard work. And ladies, gentlemen, you're frustrated because you want to get down to a medium or a large. And you've done everything. And let me tell you what you haven't done. Contours. Contours is amazing. Right now, they're running a special. You're not going to pay anything unless you lose 2 inches, which they guarantee, or you pay zero. And let me tell you something. You're going to lose more than 2 inches. Over time, you're going to see several inches melt away, and that's what it is. It's not invasive. It is so easy. Their Ultra Slim Body Contouring guarantees you're going to lose 2 inches, or you don't pay anything on your first appointment. So relaxing as well. You just lay there, listen to the music, and chill and watch. It comes off. You're going to fit your clothes better. You're going to feel 1,000 times better. Call Contours today. Go in there, lose those inches, feel better, fit in those clothes you've always wanted to fit in. 615-236-9960, 615-236-9960, or contoursllc.com. What have you got to lose but inches?
So what area does it cover?
Potentially anywhere that has a cashless bail policy. So some of the largest cities, some of the most left-wing states in America.
Almost all of them, right?
Illinois would be a great example of that, sir.
Yes, Illinois, cashless bail. That's what Trump's going after next. Here's a perfect example of all or nothing. This is where common sense eludes so many people. Cashless bail? No. If you've got 20 outstanding parking tickets and some stupid bench warrant for something and you're nonviolent, then I don't think most people are like, okay, that's fine. No, you shouldn't ruin somebody's life. If you have assaulted somebody physically, sexually, no, you shouldn't have cashless bail. Part of the problem is we don't have places to keep these people. That's also a big deal. I mean, and some of these people are mentally deranged and they just continue to let them out over and over and over again. Then you've got the youth side of it where they, DC's weird because the adults, the Department of Justice, they have that. They have their own courts underneath and they don't really prosecute the youth. So if you're under 18, they kind of just let you do whatever you want, which is stupid. Which is absolutely ridiculous. I remember when I was a kid, man, people would do horrific things like, we may try him as an adult. Nowadays, some of these cities, they're like, man, we probably won't even try him at all. And that's how you get out of control areas. And like Chicago, look, I'll say this. I do not want the military rolling through the streets of America to police. And if he sends them into Chicago, which he probably will, by law, they're only allowed to protect federal things. He is a huge, the power he has in D.C. is tremendous because it's federal. Like D.C.'s a federal area. In Chicago, or Illinois, any of the states, he doesn't have that. They're not going to have guns. They can protect federal buildings, but that's about it. So they can't go in and police. And do you really want them police? And I'll tell you why. Because if you do something, right, and these guys catch you, and then something happens, and of course you don't get your Miranda rights written, they did something wrong, all of that stuff's going to be tossed out immediately, which is something you don't want. I still question whether or not, why aren't you sending in the FBI, which, by the way, could easily work in the States, because many of them have there, as well as the DEA, and at times the ATF, because they're all part of the policing, and you could surge in areas without the fear of pushing people into a situation where, okay, they're there for looks, but what happens after you leave? That's the other thing. Like, it's great that there's no murders in D.C., but you're not going to leave them there forever. So what happens after they leave? And then everything goes up again. That's where I get frustrated and go, okay, is this a show? I don't want a show. And by the way, most of the people that live in these areas, they're stuck. They don't want crime in their streets. They don't want, 20-somethings and 19, 18, and 17-year-old kids holding their city hostage or their areas hostage. So it's like, what could we do that's really going to get something done to push this crime? And the other thing, and the number one thing is, you got to prosecute. That's it. You have to. If you arrest somebody and within a few hours, they're back on the street and they didn't even worry, they're laughing as you're taking them in, how do you make you feel if you're a cop? How frustrated are you? You see all these things from all over the country in these big cities, right? Like San Francisco, people in there with their calculators and they're trying to calculate, okay, if I do under $790, I could steal all this with just a ticket. And they'll steal it. They'll go up the street and they'll lay out a blanket and sell it all for a couple $100. Like it's a garage sale. That's crazy. It's the common sense world of which the left has completely abandoned. That's why we were joking about it last week when we did those crazy words, othering, birthing people. Ken, do you know any birthing people?
No.
Have you ever been othered? I don't know. right?
I don't think I have.
Oh, my goodness. Birthing people, othering, right? Trigger warning, all of that stuff is academia and left coast and East Coast. And you go and look, watching people try to go, these red states have bad murder rates. Yeah, but they're all big blue cities in these states. They are. They're big blue cities. I don't want to. If that's what you want, then let it happen. Because eventually, people are going to have to make a decision. If I continue to vote like this is what I'm going to get. And that's up to them. But if you want to do a surge, do it right. Put in the FBI, because they've done that before. And if the governor calls. So in New Mexico, 2 cities called the governor and said, we've got a massive spike in crime. We need the National Guard. She sent the National Guard in. There it is. And that's where we are. But I'm sitting there going, you're bailing out cities that, quite frankly, do they deserve to be bailed out? And if you go and you put there and it's just a show of force in an area where nobody is, if you're patrolling, federal buildings and you're not really, what are you doing? And I think that's the frustrating point for a lot of people. It's like, is this turned out to be more show than anything else? No, but it's frustrating. How many people, one of the things too, I was watching a guy earlier that I like talking, it's the quality of life in areas. So just because it's not a violent crime doesn't mean your quality of life doesn't suck. If you live in a place where they tell you, you should probably leave your doors unlocked in your car, so, and your trunk open, that's not quality of life. That's stupid. I don't want my stuff to get broken into. I don't want all my stuff taken. So I got to take everything in the house, even though anywhere else in America I could probably be fine with. Those are quality of life crimes. It doesn't have to be just violence. But what happens is they go and you can walk down streets in certain parts of these big cities across America, and even here probably in Memphis and a few other places, see stuff stolen out of everybody's cars, broken windows. And it shouldn't be just, that's what we get, right? No. What was it, Canada a few years ago? That guy's like, you guys should probably leave the key fob on the front door. So that way when somebody steals...
I'll lock the car so they don't damage it when they steal it.
Who does that?
Yeah.
Could you imagine that?
Just let them have it.
That's when you get a Cobra. It's when you get your spicy Cobra. Ha!
I should start letting her sleep in the car at nights.
But
somebody tries to steal my car, and then they'll get in there and have my Cobra to contend with.
You know what, though? Here's the funny thing. You would do, it's like a joke. He doesn't really have a Cobra.
Yes, I do.
He's got a Mamba. But if you did that, you would be the one in trouble.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Oh, 100%. Defending your stuff.
You can't do that.
You can't
That's a deadly weapon, having a Cobra.
If you went and you put some sort of electric stuff on your car so somebody tried to open it and they got shocked, you'd be sued. How many times you heard that?
And they probably win.
Yeah, times you heard. What was that movie, Liar, Liar?
Oh, with Jim Carrey?
Yeah, where she was talking about her friend. A guy fell through her roof and landed on a knife, and he sued and got $20,000. Would you have done that? He said, I could have got him 40. Because that's the litigious, wacky world we live in. It is. It's crazy. Oh, that'd be funny. I couldn't even imagine that. In Florida, that guy in Florida is like, if you come to somebody's house, try to take their stuff, they're going to kill you. And we're okay with that. Florida. Get a pet skunk. Yeah, but then you got to drive around with a skunk.
Yeah.
And by the way,
he might spray you.
By the way, pet skunks, just to let you guys know, you think raccoons are cool? You get them when they're young and they're descented, the coolest pets in the world. Just to let you guys know that.
That's what I hear.
They're almost like a cross between a cat and a dog.
Yeah. Yeah. With a little bit of raccoon because they got kind of hands too. What if the governor sends National Guard? Are they shoestringing to only state property? Now, the National Guard's still only limited to certain things. They can't police. And like I said earlier, think about one of these guys that does something stupid. And they don't mean to. They don't know any better. They're not police force. And what ends up happening? All of a sudden, you may have a lawsuit, but on top of that, if somebody did do something bad, what happens? It gets thrown out. It gets Bill Cosby'd on a technicality. So you know, they can do a lot of what they were doing for ICE. They can do transportation, a lot of that stuff. But when it comes to if he goes and actually federalizes them, they're limited to federal only. And they're still limited in what they can do. You know, they're not going out there and taking on, you know, the drug dealers and the gangsters. We're silly, I've been told. I don't know if you saw that.
Silly goose.
We are silly goose. We're silly goose. Everybody wants to know. You had a pet skunk. Sally had a pet skunk when she was a kid. They're good pets. I'm telling you guys. Several friends have had them. They're neat. When you get them descented, they're fine. They're fine. They're fine. I mean, they're no hippo.
They're no little Maydong.
Maydong, man. How big is Maydong?
Yeah, we got to look at that.
Yeah.
How big is Maydong?
Maydong.
Now, this is a regular hippo that's going to get to the size of a Volkswagen, right?
I don't know. I thought she was a pygmy hippo.
Let's see. Or Mudang.
Mudang.
I'm sorry, Mudang. My bad.
There we go.
Bad,
We culturally appropriated. We've already done some racism. Pygmy hippos. They can live up to 50 years. How about that? Apples that are those apples.
Look at this. They're only between 10 and 14 pounds at birth.
There you
little
go.
fellas.
Just a little guy.
I'm not saying how much he weighs now.
Let's see here. You know what, though? They say dwarf, right? Like, oh, they're dwarfs. Okay, here you go. Here we go with the dwarf. The pygmy hippos. 397 to 606 pounds. That's no bigger than one of them little pink pigs you buy.
That's right. Yeah, little quote-unquote teacup pigs.
Oh, yeah, there's no teacup.
Do they have the same kind of teeth?
Yeah, I don't think they're not as, they're teeth, but they're not as bad. Like that.
They're not like the giant daggers?
No. But I mean, I wouldn't want to get bit by one.
No.
You're not like asking for that. You're like, hey, that'd be great if that happened.
Mudang was really biting that stuff when he was upset.
Yeah, so don't be messing with the Mudang. Mudang would also not come out of the water for a long time. That was really pissed everybody off because it would go right in the center and then would not leave.
And finally, its mother came out and was like, get out of the water.
It was one of those things. Like, no, they couldn't get even that happen. They would have to try to like splash her and move it over to one side. Like it just stayed in the center. And you're like, you can't get rid of it. What are you going to do? There's no net to catch it. You don't be doing that anyways. That's not very nice. Coming up, I got some of your text messages. A lot of stuff to get to as well. Some of you hate me. And Bell, too. By the way, you got a little hate for there as well, Bell.
What's going on?
I don't know. Somebody said they hated us. So
Goodness.
I hate you and Bell as well. I'm like, okay. Well, hopefully
some chick I dated?
Probably with your spicy cobra. Oh, spicy. Chad Bet Show. Super Talk 997. All right, guys, let's talk about what goes on the computer. Be a lot of bad stuff. Digital world right now is dangerous. You know, $10 trillion this year is what they're expected, the hackers of the world, to get. $10 trillion. Think about that for a second. It can be part of what's going on in your world. That's why you need WebRoot. Antivirus and web protection. All right, it's real-time protection against malware, ransomware, phishing, and more. Protect you and up to 10. So it can protect you and your entire family, up to 10 devices, or maybe it's just you, and you got 4 or 5 devices that can protect you there as well. It's going to help you when it comes to the predators and the wackadoos out there, as well as many other things, including identity theft, which is a nightmare. Trust me on that. You can get up to $1 million in theft-related expense reimbursement. That's the beauty of what they do. Protect yourself, protect your family. When it comes to this, there is nothing better. It is incredible. The cost, very manageable, virtually nothing. They will make sure they go after the hackers and protect your data, which is important. They are incredible at what they do, and they're ready to protect you. Now, you're going to save 50% just by using this code, but you can only get it here. Go to webroot.com/Chad. 50% off Webroot Total Protection or Webroot Essentials. Webroot.com/Chad. Webroot.com/Chad. Live a better digital life with Webroot.
Kilmar Abrego Garcia will tell you what U.S. Attorney General Pam Bondi just said about it. And a renewed search underway in a rural area where a father accused of murdering his 3 daughters was last seen. These stories and more at 2 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
Man, they're still looking for that guy, huh?
Yeah, this guy's good at hiding. If he's still with us.
If he's still with us, right? Because I'm not. And this is the guy up in Washington State. I'm not quite sure where exactly. Because didn't they think he was in California for a while, too?
Yeah, and when they saw him, they had sightings of him in Idaho and I think Montana. That never turned out.
Because he
never turned him up anyway.
Because he's former military, if I'm correct.
Yes.
And he seems to kind of know what's going on when it comes to surviving.
And you can hide out in the Pacific Northwest.
Yes, you can.
Hey, Bigfoot's been doing it for decades.
Decades, man. I tell you what, that Bigfoot guy, by the way, he is the champion of hide and seek.
Yes, he is.
There's nobody more hidey and seeky than Bigfoot. Speaking of the woods, congratulations to our Finnish friends for giving us the great Tree Hugger Championship.
Time's up. Excellent hugging. And then we have Livia with 2 extra huggers. This beautiful dedication from everybody. Time. Hyvä.
Hyvä.
Well done. Excellent dedication, everybody. Those were beautiful hugs. Well done. Hyvin halattu, Mahti.
Huumen hapelaate hypte.
Finish?
Yes.
Finish.
Yes. Hypte, hapte, hypte. Hey, guys, hypte. Avala hypte.
What were they doing?
Hugging trees. Hugging trees.
Did you have to get the tree to hug back to win?
No.
Oh.
No, they didn't. They don't have arms like that where they were hugging.
Branches.
They have branches, but the branches were up high. And you could do a group hug around a tree.
Ah, yeah.
What if the tree's like, you guys are smothering me? I'm not this. I'm not a touchy-go-feely tree. I don't want any part of this. So they crowned a champion. Hoopta! Hoopta, yoopta!
Like, how long do these people like this must live a long time? I mean, they don't seem to be bothered by, real things.
No. It's got to be nice, right?
Yes.
Like, have you ever met somebody, they're clueless to the world, right? They don't talk about politics. They don't care. And you think to yourself, God, you're so happy. Why? And you're like, did you hear what Trump did today?
Who?
Trump? The dude from the TV? Oh, that's right. He's president again? Check that out. No, what'd he do? Never mind. I mean, they do. I mean, I've met a lot of people, and we always joke about you don't know anything or this, that, and the other. But there are people out there that genuinely have no real care about this stuff.
Right.
And every once in a while, I got to say, I kind of envy them.
Yeah.
Right? They sit around, they watch the whatever show, the latest, Love Island or whatever's going on, right? And they listen to music, they hang out with their friends, they get a couple drinks, they go dancing, oblivious to anything. And you think, it's not bad, right? Like you don't seem to be miserable.
Yeah, as long as there's never any consequence.
Yeah.
It's got to be great.
Because they're not mean. They're it's not even that they're stupid. It's just that they don't care.
Right. That's their life.
Yeah, their life is, I don't care. Doesn't affect me. Doesn't. Very interesting. All right, coming up, hour number 3 of the program. We got some other stuff to get to. Who knows what it'll be, but it'll be funny. I promise you that. Got some of your text messages as well. If you're missing the show, we say shame.
Shame.
Grab the podcast.
Shame.
Shame. Chad Benson, Super Talk 987.
Two o'clock on the dot. I'm Ken Weaver with your top stories. And drivers, we picked up a crash. It is blocking the right lane, 65 northbound near Rosa Parks Boulevard, North Loop, downtown. Kilmar Garcia is in federal immigration custody in Maryland, where he was taken after being released from jail in Tennessee, where he faces human smuggling charges. And Attorney General Pam Bondi just defended the actions of ICE in the Garcia case.
He's currently charged with human smuggling, including children. The guy needs to be in prison. He doesn't need to be on the streets like all these liberals want him to be.
Now, his attorneys are fighting the potential for his deportation to another country. We're told it could be Uganda by Wednesday, or if he was to plead guilty to the charges, he would be deported to Costa Rica after he serves his sentence. A renewed search underway in a rural area where a father accused of murdering his 3 daughters was last seen. Here's ABC's Alex Stone.
Along several roads, trails, and campgrounds in the mountains east of Seattle, the FBI has shut down the area as a search for fugitive father Travis Decker now reaches a 3-month mark. In orders posted over the weekend, the U.S. Forest Service said all of Rock Island Campground, along with 2 other campgrounds, are closed to allow the FBI to conduct its investigation. The 3 girls, 9, 8, and 5 years old, were found dead near Rock Island Campground on June 2nd. Decker has been on the run since. Alex Stone, ABC News.
The nonprofit healthcare group KFF says health insurance prices are expected to rise next year. Pricey prescriptions and nagging medical costs will likely leave consumers dealing with coverage changes. Less coverage overall, according to KFF, which says the health insurance market right now is in a period of uncertainty. Also in Tennessee, election 2026 update. 6th District Congressman and gubernatorial candidate John Rose is on WTN's Nashville's Morning News with Dan Mandis this morning, talking about why he didn't show up at a recent town hall.
You know, the three organizations that were involved in this town hall were clearly activist, liberal, Democrat affiliated groups. And, you know, they've just been trying to draw Republicans out into these types of events.
So far, Tennessee U.S. Senator Marsha Blackburn, the other Republican in the gubernatorial race, is saying no to debating Rose.
Well, my understanding so far is that she's just saying no. And, you know, but I think Tennesseans deserve to hear from their candidates.
All right, the state and federal primary election for the governor's race is Thursday, August 6th of 2026. And that's the latest news. Weather's next. I'm Ken Weaver, WTN News.
Speaking of weather, boys, currently in Uganda, 66 degrees. Winds 2 miles coming out of the south. Humidity 95%. It's the cool time of the year in Uganda. December through February, that's the hottest months. So it's going to be warm. Not a lot of difference, though. Like the coldest is they average about 75 to about 90. That's about it. It's like, oh, sweater weather. Bless you, Bill. So it's just letting you guys know, just in case he takes option. Which option was that? 2? 1?
Uganda?
Yeah.
That's option 2.
Okay. One is plead guilty and spend God knows how long in prison.
Yeah, up to 10 years.
Should we charge him because they got all that money? It's gonna be $100,000 for him to stay here. You were talking about healthcare. This is a perfect example of things that matter, right? Like we sit here and argue about the flag, or we can argue about Kilmar Abrego. Healthcare is going up. It's getting out of control. And the healthcare is so confusing. It is so confusing. There's a great article about the difference in range from one part of the country to another, to across the street. Medium negotiated rate for a hip placement was under $22,000. But in New Jersey, right, $13,000. In Washington State, $100,000. That's how? What happens in Washington State? Like, I'm curious. What happens in Washington State where you have a $100,000 hip? Can you fly? Do you jump higher? Did they put money in your hip? I have no idea. And then they started showing different things like, here's a perfect example of same provider, by the way. So this is the same provider. And the heart surgery was $220,000 apart. You wonder why people are confused and pissed? Man, they better start fixing this. They better start getting it down. And because the more that it goes sideways, the more that the wackadoos out there go, man, that Luigiano Mangione guy kind of had it right. These people are nuts.
It's government that's caused these problems to begin with the constant interference in the marketplace.
Absolutely. And allowing them to do stuff like write everything off. So do you think it costs $20 for an aspirin? No, but if they tell you it's $1 for an aspirin, they write off those $19 as a loss. They get all that money back at the end of the year. The games that are played. How many times have you heard somebody go, well, they originally was $104,000. I got him down to $2,500.
Johnny B told me a story one time about going in to get a colonoscopy, and they told him it was, and he said, I'm going to pay cash for it. They said, well, it's $750. He was like, forget it then. I can't afford that. And the receptionist was like, well, how much can you afford? He's $200. Okay, we'll do it for $200.
Yeah.
Why don't you just say that to begin with?
So, it is, I sit here and I look, and the frustration level of, like, we have our doctor here, but we had a concierge doctor back in Arizona. So it was really cool. Dr. Lamb's awesome. We could call him or text him. We paid virtually nothing. I think we paid like $150 a month, and they have him here too. And I had access to him all over. He didn't do insurance. He didn't do any of those things. So we had like catastrophic just in case. But like if you needed an MRI, he goes, yeah, you just, you pay my rate. It's $100. You needed this, it was X-ray. I do it here. I've got that. You this, even to the point where the insurance was more expensive for my prescriptions to pay the copay. I mean, it is that kind of ridiculousness. But when you start to hear that it's going to go up, those are the things that matter for all of us, because it sucks. I mean, every one of us who has been through any kind of situation when it comes to the medical world, the nightmares. Now, some people have gold-plated a most amazing, absolutely incredible, health insurance. But for a lot of people, you're dealing with what everybody else is dealing with. No matter how good you think it is, you're getting a bill here, you're getting a bill there, or it only covers 75%. Then they charge you $200,000, and you're like, holy mother of goodness. It's crazy. But this is the stuff that absolutely you got to get a handle on. And like you said, Bell, the interference government, they won't even let you take, you can't even shop across state lines.
Ridiculous.
The same to that. When I was a kid growing up, doctor would come to your house, right?
And there was an executive order that Trump did in his first term.
Yeah.
Where healthcare providers were required to post the cost of procedures when you walk in. Like it would be a menu like you'd see in a fast food joint. You want a hip replacement, it's cost X. You know, you want to get you got a broken bone and you need a cast, it'll cost X. That never went into effect, and they never did it. If you walked into the front desk and you knew what you were going to pay beforehand, you have negotiating power at that point, and they don't want you to have that.
No, they don't want to have any negotiating power. There's a place I think it's in Tulsa, actually, Ken. It is a surgery center where they pretty much do everything, and it's all cash. They've got it laid out in a menu, and when you go there, you're there till you're healthy. So if you're getting a hip replacement, they don't kick you out after 20 minutes. You know, you're there for 5 or 6 days. They get you up and running. They get you moving. They get you all of it's inclusive. And there's no haggling because doctors are over it too. It's not just us. Doctors hate it.
Well, yeah, because it falls on them to explain it to you.
Yeah. So,
the administrative costs that they have to bear for all these stupid regulations cost them more than any other segment of their bills.
Yeah. Well, it's like college, right? They had no professors, but they had what 700 administrators for every one professor they had.
Yeah.
It is nuts. It is absolutely nuts. And when the crapshoot of opening up a medical bill. Like Jason said, he went to the ER. It cost him $31,000. His portion was $275. What's the $31,000 for?
Yeah.
What did you get? Did you get $31,000 worth of stuff? These numbers, they inflate because, like you said, they play around with them. They can write, and so much of it is about writing it off. It's all about writing off a big portion of that and then taking it as a loss at the end of the year. And then that is a way that they're able to get around so much of this crap. But it's frustrating. It's confusing. People are angry about it. And the insurance companies, they're there to make money. So they will deny you as much as possible. Especially if you're an individual. Now, when you're with a bunch of people, it's a much different thing, right? You got a big force behind you. But as an individual, it's easy for them to go, pfft. And these are the things where you sit up there and you go, okay, what frustrates you? Because I know this. Our medical was a month that I paid for my family and I was a house, not a little house.
Goodness.
A big, giant house.
Monthly.
A kind of $700,000 a year house, kind of $700,000 house. It was insane. Like $3,500 plus a month or something like that.
Wasn't Obamacare supposed to fix all this?
Obamacare was written to be a law. It was never written to be health care.
Right.
It was written to be a law.
And it was written by the health insurance industry.
Of course. Like, who wouldn't want that? Hey, guys, come on in. Write this thing up so we can withstand challenge after challenge. And these are the things that eat up. I mean, I don't know how many people I talk to just so frustrated. And I've lived through, like many of you probably, I have lived through socialized medicine. It is not great, but you know what? If we don't get our head on straight, we're going to figure something out. This thing's going to collapse upon itself because people are fed up with the surprises. And there is some surprises.
Yeah, and I mean, already, some of, procedures that you might need depending on your provider, I mean, they're pushed out months.
Yeah.
And then, halfway there, you get a call, you've got to reschedule and push it out even further.
Matt told a story about this guy he knew in Canada, socialized medicine. He had a brain issue, and they had to take off part of his skull. And they embedded it in his thorax to keep the bone alive while they were treating him. And so that was considered an emergency procedure. He went to the front of the line, but when he was healed and it was time to put the skull back on, they were like, well, no, that's
it's a separate.
That's not an emergency. You'll have to wait in line.
Yeah, and that's the frustration that you have there. When I was in England, it was frustrating. Like when I got really sick, it was easier for me to fly here and see somebody. But when I did have to go there, it was nice not having a bill. I mean, because I pay it with my taxes. And here, it is a situation where, you're still waiting. You're still trying to get in, and who knows when you're going to get in. So you get in, and it's great. And it's like, go look at the bankruptcy. A vast majority of our bankruptcies are medical bankruptcies. A vast majority. And I think Trump just rolled that back because originally it wasn't supposed to affect your credit. But a vast majority of it is bankruptcies. If somebody has a heart attack, they shouldn't have to go broke and sell everything they have so they can survive or be semi-homeless because they had a heart attack. We've got to come up with a common sense way. This is the beauty of our country. We can figure this stuff out. But the insurance companies love the mystery.
We just got this text that says, I work for a dental office and deal with insurance. We have to inflate our prices to try to get the insurance companies to pay us more. If we only charge $500 for a procedure, the insurance company wants to only give us $150. If we say the procedure costs $1,000, we might get closer to $400.
Yeah. And dental insurance is like, because you're going to get dental insurance when you have to go to the dentist. That's why they're like not great dental insurance. But when
that's the way insurance works, period, is they try to undercut these people and pay them as little as possible because, like you said, they're in the business of making money. Then when you need to go in and use it, you're fighting a system that's already been set up to go against you, and you've been paying in premiums for months.
Yeah, I mean it's their whole thing is they figure they're going to frustrate you to the point where they're going to run the clock out on you, whatever it is, where you're just going to get frustrated. And that isn't good at all for any of us because we've got the best medicine in the world. We are the standard bearer, especially when it comes to big things. Look, I've always said this. You break your arm, you want to be in England, right? They're not going to make you wait for months. Now, if you had to have surgery, it's a different story. If you have cancer, you want to be here. You do. But this is, I don't know how many of you guys hear stories you're talking about what a nightmare it is. Yeah, the VA is technically socialized medicine. But
they screw those guys over all the time.
Yeah, but by the way, let's be real. We screw doesn't matter if it's medicine or housing, they're not getting a good shake on that one, are they, guys? No, I don't think so. Coming up, we're going to find out what Ken's got. Maybe some more on Kilmar Garcia. What is he doing? Where is he? How is he doing? Is he going to Uganda or not? Will he be eaten by a hippo? We will find out soon. Chad Benson Show, Super Talk 997. Prize Picks. All right, so Prize Picks. You guys know what it is. You pick more, you pick less. It's awesome. It's a great way to take your knowledge of sports. It's about players. It's not about teams. It's not about lines. You decide to yourself, do I think a player is going to get more than this? Now, when you do your first lineup after you download the Prize Picks app and use my code Chad, all you got to do is do $5 lineups, right? So that's simple and easy. Remember, more or less on stats, they're going to give you $50 in cash right into your account so you can make more lineups up. It's that simple. Now, here's the great thing. NFL kicks off this week. Right now, they're giving you a max discount. What is that? It's basically a free win. Do you think Dak Prescott is going to throw for more than a half a yard? If you think that's true, there you go. Simple and easy to do. They're taking on the Eagles. Do you think Jalen Hurts is going to throw for whatever they decide, more or less? You run from there. There's your first lineup, and you win. It is so much fun. And remember, first time you play. So you download the app, code Chad, right away. $50 instantly in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. Download the Prize Picks app today. Use my code Chad to get those $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks, it's good to be right. Must be 21 in Tennessee. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-889-9789.
We have reaction from a neighborhood where a family's home caught fire here in Middle Tennessee, and that family's in the hospital. Got that and more coming up at 2:30 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
A lot of you chiming in about healthcare and the nightmare that is. And some of you have had some good experience. Like, I think all of us have had a little bit of good and a little bit of bad, but the bad outweighs it. And in many cases, I mean, I have been in situations, I think a lot of it, where you look up and you're like, I'm paying this forever. And somebody just hit me up about, the ridiculousness of, because if you guys don't know, Trump rolled back the credit thing. So where the medical credit, so if you were in debt to the hospital for $800 billion, it wasn't going to go on your credit. And Trump rolled that back. So he said, I'm a type 1 diabetic, $12K a year for my meds and medical equipment. Trump really blanked me for rolling back the credit thing. Yeah, that's frustrating. It is. I mean, most of our bankruptcies in this country are medical debt. And it's crazy. That shouldn't happen. That should not happen in our country. It shouldn't. We shouldn't be in a situation where, if you, and look, I don't know what they're going to do. I mean, I've been on panels where we've talked about stuff like this and how do we get to the point where we have this situation where when you get to the point where it's going to be a heart attack or cancer, what do you do from there? When you realize it's going to be hundreds of thousands of dollars, of which, even if you're, they cover it. They're not going to cover it to the point where, you're going to have any money left afterwards. And it's frustrating. I don't even know what it costs to deliver a baby nowadays. I mean, just tell the wife, go out back, put your back on a tree, and let's see what we get. That's probably a little bit. What do the Amish charge?
Just be back in time to make dinner.
That's right. There you go. Bell, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, is that the placenta? Yummy soup. Oh. The Amish got it right? They have doctors come out, or they do. They have their own doctor. Who was the Doc Adams? Maybe.
Doc Adams.
Maybe Hugh rolls out there.
I think I can fix this with a leech.
That's right. With a leech. I need to pull your tooth. If you don't mind.
But it's a gunshot in the leg. I know, but we got to do what we got to do.
Oh.
I know you're 7, Jimmy. Here's a gallon of whiskey. What am I supposed to do with this? Drink it? No, we'll put some on you.
Oh.
Yeah. So, I mean, the cost, and I'm hearing from you guys. It's just, and it's so bizarre, too, how things can be across the street, essentially. One of them is $5,000. Another one is $25,000. And how does somebody arrive at that? What was it that United Healthcare, one of those ones, they were going to, so if you went into surgery, you only got X amount of anesthesia. And that's all that they were giving you. So if they said the surgery should last 2 hours and it lasted 4, well, sorry, those last 2 hours are going to be an adventure for you.
Well, actually, you'll get the 2 hours of anesthesia, and then you'll get a bill for it, too.
Yeah. So.
And anesthesia ain't cheap.
Somebody says it's called individual responsibility. So, individual responsibility, I mean, if I go to a restaurant and there's no prices on there, and the person next to me orders a burger, and it's $12, and then they try to charge me $1,500, I don't think you can really be responsible for that. If you get hit by a car driven by somebody who doesn't have insurance, and your insurance has, you got to hit a threshold of $50,000 before they'll start to cover anything above some ridiculous amount because you can't afford it. There's no much responsible you are. There's only so much you can be. And when it's a mystery, put your hand in there and find out what it is. It's $25,000. So here we go. As a big healthcare executive, 2 immediate fixes should be increase competition. Yes, please. these companies, well, they love the fact that they're all monopolies, even though they're quote unquote not monopolies. RID nonprofit healthcare. If you bill insurance, you're not a nonprofit. They are bullies of the industry, multiple income streams, and don't pay taxes. Yeah, totally. Somebody said, well, Chad, you saw the menu. No. There was no prices on the menu. Right? Like you said, when you went to the hospital, that was the whole thing with Trump. It was supposed to be all transparent, and then they said no. I mean, if you don't know what the price is, if you went to buy a house today and they didn't tell you what the price is, and then you find out your payment's $11,000 a month, the guy next door is paying $1,200 a month, you'd feel a little hard done by.
It's like you walk in and it says, if you need a cast price, check with your provider.
Yeah. I know. People are going to start to learn. You know what? AI's coming. AI. Wait till everybody has their own surgery robot. That's coming. I'll tell you that right now. Coming up. Look at.
I had a robot do my hernia surgeries.
Yeah. Hey, when they did my eye, so they did the thing.
Yeah.
The guy's sitting there and he's talking to my wife, and he's just a great guy. And they put the little stuff in. They go, he's going to go dark for a second. And then he's over there talking to my wife. And he comes over and he moves the thing and he goes, all right, we're done. I go, what'd you do? I made sure the machine didn't blow you up.
Have you noticed how LASIK over the years has just gotten cheaper and cheaper and easier and easier?
Yeah, because
insurance is very limited in their involvement, and the government stays out of the way.
Absolutely. Cash is king, baby. All right, coming up, I'll talk a little bit more about this. We've got some other stuff to talk about. Trump's executive order on flags, and who knows what else we'll find. Chad Benson Show, Super Talk, 99.7.
.2:30 on the dot. I'm Ken Weaver with your top stories. And drivers, we got a big problem in Cheatham County. Overturned vehicle and the right lane is blocked. 40 westbound, right there at the Williamson County line. Then here downtown Nashville, got the right lane blocked. 65 northbound near Rosa Parks Boulevard. Metro Police say there's a crash there. Also a crash over here in South Nashville. Left shoulder block, 24 westbound at Murfreesboro Pike. Full forecast in 5 minutes. Channel 4 has reaction from the neighborhood where a family's home caught fire in Spring Hill and all 4 family members had to go to the hospital.
When we went outside, the husband was crouched over his dog, and it looked like he was wearing like a black shirt, but he was shirtless. It was just like soot from the fire.
Both the son and dad have burns. The mother and the daughter have smoke inhalation, but authorities say all 4 are doing fine, although they are hospitalized. Kilmar Garcia, the Salvadoran man deported when he was living in Maryland, then brought back to face human smuggling charges in Tennessee, but released from jail on Friday and taken back to Maryland, is in federal immigration custody again. Here's U.S. Attorney General Pam Bondi.
He's currently charged with human smuggling, including children. The guy needs to be in prison. He doesn't need to be on the streets like all these liberals want him to be.
So reports say he could be deported to Uganda as soon as Wednesday. However, a federal judge has just stepped in and is blocking deportation of Garcia. Judge Paula Zenas ordering that Abrego must remain in the U.S. until an evidentiary hearing is held. That's the latest news. Weather's next. I'm Ken Weaver, WTN News.
A cool one out there today. Temperatures only topping off to the upper 70s and low 80s. A lot of cloud cover this afternoon, but we'll end up staying dry. Tonight, temperatures drop down to the 50s. Grab a jacket before you head out tomorrow morning. The afternoon will have more sunshine, but the temperature will struggle to get back near 80 for our Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. We're in the upper 70s to the low 80s. Good sunshine coming up. And go. Thursday afternoon.
Busy Bee Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling is bringing the buzz and big savings with sweet giveaways. So you got issues with your septic? Not anymore, thanks to Busy Bee. 15% off right now. Septic work, mainline drains, whole home repipes. and just in time for the school year. If you upgrade your HVAC, you're going to get entered in to win Healthy Hive giveaway. So you're saying, what is this? It's a $1,500 sponsorship to a local school of your choice. It's got to be within the service area. And if you're thinking, well, I don't need that, but what else can I do for teachers? How about this? Buy one, gift one when it comes to the Beehive Club. It's a free membership to them for a local teacher, coach, or faculty member at a school in the service area. So you buy one, you gift one. It's that simple. You can breathe easier with $100 off indoor air quality products and enjoy $250 off water filtration systems for your home. So what are you waiting for? Call Busy Bee. They got tons of great opportunities here for you to help out the school and to save money yourself when it comes to your plumbing, heating, and cooling. 775-7833, 775-7833, or schedule online at busybeehvac.com. Raycon, best earbuds around. Love my Raycon. You will love yours. Fit and feel second to none. I love the sound quality. These are the original, the OGs, right? So they're the everyday classic E25s. These are the first ones that started off. They've added everything to it that as they modernize everything else, they go, hey, let's make these things a little bit smaller, fit amazing, sound quality second to none. You won't even know they're in your ears. That's how incredible they are. Now, active noise cancellation, fast charging, 8 hours of talk time, 32 hours of battery life. It has all the bells and whistles without breaking the bank. It starts about half the price of other premium audio brands. And when I'm rocking and rolling, and I love it, I'm out there listening to podcasts, I'm an audiophile. I'm working with audio every day. These are my go-tos always. Once you do this, save 20% right now. Go to buyraycon.com/Chad. I'm going to get your 30-day happiness guarantee and free shipping. That's buyraycon.com/Chad for the best earbuds around. The E25 is a classic. Buyraycon.com/Chad. Buyraycon.com/Chad. So, trying to figure out it. We're trying to solve healthcare some way, shape, or form. Because the robots aren't here yet. Although, have you seen how well the AI is diagnosing people?
I have not.
Oh, it's so well. Like, amazing. And last week, and this is the beauty of AI, which I think is going to get to help us a lot before they decide to take us and destroy us. It's probably going to happen, but it's okay. For a while, it's going to be nice. The sepsis and all of these things that our antibiotics can't fight, within a short period of time, AI has figured out 2 new antibiotics that will fight these things. And it is incredible how they do it. And it was just because AI works 24/7, 365, nonstop. And that's huge. I'm sure AI would come up with something. But the government, government's involved. And as much as we don't want them to be, they're totally involved. That's the other thing. Some guy said, the best thing to do, $5,000 yearly deductible, government covers the rest. And Bell's like, no, but government's already involved. That's the problem. We're not getting them out of it. When's the last time government got in something and said, nah, I think I'm going to leave this alone? Never.
Or improved it.
Yeah. Never. They never do that. Once they're in, they're in. They love to be in. And they're not going to just say, oh, no, because as long as you have the medical and you can control a lot of that stuff, you control a lot of the people. That's the truth. I'll tell you
How
that.
am I supposed to make lobbyists happy if I can't stick my finger in the pie?
Yeah, that's true. That is true. So, God, they love the frustration, though. And we've seen a lot of these texts today, the frustration level of how many of you guys are like, I went, had this done, had to have it done again, and it cost $20,000 instead of, nothing. And it's the surprise. It's the surprise element that I think really, frustrates people because you just don't know what it's going to be. And how do you plan for something you have no idea what it's going to be? Especially something that's going to cost you God knows what. Trump today decided if you want to burn a flag, you could be in trouble. Which flag? Doesn't matter. Any flag. Doesn't matter. No, the American flag. The American flag.
If you burn a flag, you get 1 year in jail, no early exits, no nothing. You get 1 year in jail. If you burn a flag, and what it does is incite to riot.
So it's not they make it seem like if you burn a flag, you're going to, it's what would happen if you burn a flag, right? First of all, it's got to be your flag, because if you're burning somebody else's flag, doesn't matter what the flag is, you've stolen somebody's stuff, you busted up their property. So if you burn a flag, so you go and you get a flag and you're like, I'm going to show America how angry I am, and you burn the flag, that's not a crime. That's free speech. But if after burning the flag, all of a sudden there is some sort of issue where a crime is committed, you could be on the hook for that, citing a riot, whatever it is. Because that's kind of what they're going for. Is like if you're an Antifa member or you're one of these, kids that wants to go burn a flag, and all of a sudden from there, this gets people all riled up and boom, craziness happens. Okay, well, then there's going to be issues. But the flag itself is not a crime. That's still protected speech. You don't have to like it. Don't shoot Bell and I for being the messengers. All right? Because Bell's going to fire back at you. Free speech, libertarian Bell. Woo! You can't. And it sucks, right? Because I don't, and everybody's going to say, what about the pride flag? You can burn the pride flag as long as it's your pride flag. You go and you buy one and you burn it. If you burn it and you run into a gay bar and you throw it at people, as Ken said earlier, that's assault. So don't do that. Like a lot of things, they come with responsibility, the speech. And you may not like it, but we need to protect speech. I mean, it has to be protected. And free speech, it's about hate speech. Now, it's so weird to say that, right? But that is the only protected speech, because if you loved it, you don't want it protected. I love it. I don't need it protected. Oh, Medical menu market price. That'd be nice. A lot of you guys are talking about the medical stuff. I'm telling you, it's a big deal. It's a huge deal. It's a massive problem we have in this country. You know, when the rest of the world goes, why don't you guys? Well, first of all, the rest of the world says, why don't we have socialized medicine? Well, we kind of do for some. But why don't we? Because you guys don't have to have an army. That's why. Because we have a bigger lobby in the military-industrial complex. That's why. That is why. Flag burning law sounds very loosely written. I think it kind of is. You know, it's again, it's an executive order. It's not a law. And I don't know what's going to happen because this will be tested. I'm sure somebody's going to do something. And this is where Trump is great, right? We were talking earlier, the weed thing. He's looking to decriminalize. Why? It's an 80-20 thing. You know? We should ask John Rose. Hey, John, Trump's thinking about going with the little decriminalization of the weed, or at least dropping it down to Schedule 3, which is like an aspirin. What do you think of that? Are you good with that? Are you not good with that? You know, how's that work? But that's a law that's a thing where you look and you think, that's an 80-20 thing. Crime's a perfect example. It's a perfect example. Nobody wants crime. Now, I don't want military in the streets. I think we can all agree that's not a good look. But if you're for, what did the liberals call it? Involuntary war. What did they call some stupid thing like that? Now we're all thinking about it.
I can't remember.
Housed by the state or something. Something so stupid that only liberals would think of. You know, no, nobody wants crime. But we also don't want, for me, on the libertarian side, I don't want to see the military in the streets. I don't want them federalized. And remember, they're limited in what they can do. So a lot of it ends up being show. If you're serious about it, you go to the ATF, you go to the FBI, you go to the DEA. You can have them because of their policing. They can go on the streets, and they have done this in the past with a show force to help in certain areas. There are 10 areas in Chicago, 10 of them, that are the vast majority of the problem. Just 10 blocks in Chicago that have the gangs, the drugs, the violence. A vast majority of it comes right there. So you have a surge there. It's that simple. And when somebody says it's racist because the vast majority of people are black, is everybody there a criminal? No. You know who's not? 99% of them. You know who's held hostage? The 99% of them who are stuck in a situation where they can't get out of there, and you do nothing about it. And Brandon Johnson, who is think about this. They had Lori Lightfoot and now Brandon Johnson, two of the biggest idiots on the planet. Think about who's running our biggest cities in America. Right? Like you Karen Bass, idiot of epic proportion. Right? You've got Brandon Johnson, doy. And then, you look around and you're like, how did we get to this point? And that guy's done nothing. And the city is a mess in a certain area. Outside of it, it's a normal city. And then when it comes to D.C., Trump has a huge swath he can paint there because it's federal. And because it's federal, he can do a lot of things there that he can't do elsewhere. That's what he's able to do. So I don't think they're going to be carrying guns. I'm going to see how far do you think he's going to push it? Do you think he's going to try to get them to carry guns elsewhere?
Oh, I think he'll give it a shot because if nothing else, he wants to try to do it just to get some liberal heads to explode.
Yeah, he does.
And if he ended up getting some traction, he'd be like, oh, well, okay, if this is working, let's keep pushing.
Yeah. And look, it's great that it works, but to what cost too? Like a lot of the, what are they called? The guard that's in D.C., they're not in the super dangerous place. They're kind of like strolling around in areas because they're looking at federal stuff. Mostly. And it's the same thing. That's all they're going to be able to protect in Chicago's federal. I'm sure they have some courthouses and a few other things. So it's not like they're going to free reign of like Cabrini Green. That's where the Candyman was, for those of you not keeping score.
Is that projects?
Yeah, that was one of those projects where the cops wouldn't even go.
The original or the remake?
Both.
Okay.
Like where they kind of let you, like if you get inside of there, because they're just like, all right, well, there you go. Unless you were a murderer, they ain't chasing you down, kind of thing. That's the kind of thing where you watch those old movies, New Jack City. They got whole apartment blocks that are just, crack houses, and there's Pookie. That was Chris Rock, by the way.
Yeah, Chris Rock played Pookie.
Played Pookie. A couple text messages. What idiots are crying for socialized health care? This just means equal, awful, poor health care.
Bernie and his ilk.
Yeah.
AOC.
Yeah, it is. Well, again, it's not about having socialized medicine or whatever. It's about what can we do to make it manageable and affordable as opposed to what we have now, where it's not a mystery. What can we do where when, you pay for 5 years for your insurance and then they're like, we're going to deny you this, this, and this. What can we do? Because eventually what happens is people are going to revolt. Prices going up next year, seniors, the average person, they're looking at stuff getting away from them. That is not the American dream they were hoping for. All right, coming up, we got the welcome mat. I've seen him. He was walking around earlier. He'll be in straight ahead. Chad Benson Show, Super Talk 997. There we go. Jackson's in the room, kind of, sort of. It's okay, Jackson. You can talk. We're not going to be mad at you. What's up, kind sir?
Hello.
What's the word?
I don't know. Ooh.
Hi.
How's it going?
It's going good, brother. How you doing?
Did I turn my mic on? I'm trying to get.
I turned it on.
I'm all combobulated.
Really? Why is that? Your hair looks
No,
a
wait.
mess.
I'm discombobulated.
Your hair looks a mess. Were you working out? Were you doing something?
Is my hair a mess?
It's kind of like...
it's kind of going everywhere.
Does this go along with you being gruntled for so long?
Yeah, I
you were
was
gruntled.
I was gruntled. I was gruntled, and then I became disgruntled.
Oh, really? So now you're discombobulated?
These headphones are
And
awful.
the reason was your combobulation?
I don't know. See, that's part of the combobulation.
That's the worst kind.
I think I'm discombobulated.
So
I want to get combobulated.
You're
I need a defragging.
defragging.
Remember
you need
that
to
on the
reset.
computers?
Yeah,
Yeah.
you need to be resetted.
Where all the colors got in the same. And I don't. You know what? I don't think that did anything.
No,
I think it just made us feel better. Old people will remember defragging your computer.
Yeah, it's a Control-Alt-Delete is what you need. Let's start this all over again.
Okay, yeah, let's go again.
So
hey, Chad,
what's going on, brother?
I don't know.
All right, what are you going to talk about?
I'll give my take on the whole flag thing.
What do you like? I'm a free speech guy.
I believe in an America that believes in freedom.
Yeah, and I love freedom.
And I do not believe in a government that is big enough that it can incarcerate you for doing things that violate no one else's rights.
Yeah. And we've talked about this throughout the day. And here's the thing. If you steal somebody else's flag, that's a you problem and you've done something stupid.
I mean, yeah, there's
But
a law for that.
outside
There's
of
a law
that,
against
if-
that.
yeah.
You can't steal other people's property. You can't destroy other people's property. You can't burn things on public property in often cases without a burn permit or whatever. I mean, there are plenty of laws that would prevent this type of behavior. But I've got a second aspect to all of this that I think will make many of our patriotic friends and listeners very, very happy. And I'm going to unveil in the 3 o'clock hour.
I like that. You have every right to be angry. You don't. Again, that's the beauty of it. Your anger is your speech. But when they start kind of going in, I start to get worried. Okay, what are you doing? What's next?
Here's the example that I'll use next hour. What happens when you have a liberal administration that signs an executive order banning any display whatsoever of the Confederate flag? Because the Confederate flag is going to incite people to violence.
Yeah.
So
or the red hat.
From now on, no display of the Confederate flag whatsoever, because that is going to incite people to violence.
Yeah.
And the response to that would be, I'm not inciting anybody to violence. I'm just exercising my basic free speech rights to express my opinion on whatever particular matter I'm expressing it on. You know, you can't base laws based on how people are going to react to things that you do that don't violate their rights.
Yeah. And the whole thing, like I said earlier, what happened? They come in and say, you know what? The red hat is dangerous. It makes people feel uncomfortable, and it could incite violence because you've seen it. People go wackadoo about it. So we can't have you wear those things anymore. We're telling, I mean, these are all, it's a frustrating thing that we have to get to this. And again, the whole executive order has to do with after the flag is burned for the most part. But it's a great, look, he loves doing this and he's smart at it when it comes to these kind of things.
I mean, I don't know that it isn't coming from a heartfelt place. I mean, I understand that there are many patriotic Americans that, and I am among them, that get sick to their stomach that there are people that hate this country so much, that have been poisoned in the mind that despite the fact that we are the greatest country on God's green earth, that they hate this country so much. I hate it. And I think you expose those people, you reveal them with ideas, you compete in an arena of free speech. The answer to bad speech is more speech, not less.
Not less.
And
you beat their ideas with your better ideas.
And by the way, we're currently doing that.
Yeah.
We're currently doing that on just about every aspect of all this. So
yeah, so it's exactly. I mean, I'm a big free speech guy. Somebody said, well, what about, look, you can burn the pride flag. You can't burn somebody else's pride flag. You can't run into a place, burn a pride flag and throw it at somebody who's gay. Those are ridiculous things to say. Everybody goes to the ridiculous. You know how it is.
No, I mean, I get it. I mean, I understand that it's an emotional thing, and I'm glad that it's emotional, because that means that there are still plenty of people out there that have pride in the United States of America and believe in loving this country. That's all well and good, but the country was founded on a basic concept of individual freedom and liberty.
Which is beautiful.
Which is beautiful.
Which is a wonderful
awesome
thing. That's why you get different people saying different things. I love it. I love it. See, he's going to have fun. You can yell at him now.
Come on, yell at me.
Nobody's going to yell at you.
Yeah, they yell at me.
Do they?
I get yelled at.
Yeah, Mike yells at him.
Mike yells at me. That's right. Mike from Old Hickory.
Old Hickory.
Mike will wait an hour to yell at me for 3 minutes.
What's he like to yell at you about? What's his favorite thing to yell at you about?
I don't know. I don't listen to Mike.
Mike, did you hear that? He don't listen to you. You could just
I
be
really
yammering.
don't.
They might put you on hold. You think you're yelling at him. You're not.
Sometimes.
There you
Sometimes
go.
that's the fun. You know, you just put them on hold, put them back, put them on hold. Little hold me, the elevator music going on. Dun, 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 dun.
All right, there
That's
you
good.
go. A lot of fun. He is discombobulated, soon to be combobulated. Matt, straight ahead. You guys have a good one. We'll do it again tomorrow.